S is for the S's that have disappeared. H is for Haas, it's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky 'cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y is for your memories, hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for Emmys. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
Oh. Hello, everybody. Hebrew77 here, and welcome to another Shifty Sunday broadcast. We are standing by with Armor Up and Sagittarically speaking. I'd like to welcome everybody who's out there watching. Thanks for hanging in there. Eddie Von Keen, especially you. You've been here since the beginning. Oh, is he leaving? Oh no. Oh, he's teasing. Okay, I get it. Um, anyway, so how's before I ask you guys how you're doing, I know I always ask you how you're doing every night. Not every night, but when you know what I mean. Um, Armor Up, I just want to say while we're here live that I know that everybody watched, everyone who's in this room, all three of them, watched Dan's show last night, a Scare Performances show last night. And man, I just gotta say, at least for me, and I know I've told you this in private, whatever, but I'm gonna say it live, right here, live, so everyone knows that I totally agree with what you said. That I'm very proud of you, man. It took a lot. It took a lot to get out there and put all that out there and saying knowing that you would probably be chastised and knowing that a lot of people would be against it, and you and Dan both, Dan put a lot on the line by putting it on there too. So I'd like to say both of you guys, very proud of both of you guys, and thank you for getting that message out there. We all appreciate that.
Well, thank you, brother. And I wouldn't say we all appreciate it because, as you said, there is some hate, but that's all right because with their hate, they bless me because Jesus said I would be hated. So I love my haters. And yeah, it's just a message I thought needed to be out. Dan was the brave one putting it on his channel. I mean, it got a lot more eyes there. So I really appreciate Dan putting it out there. Blew me away when he came and said, "Hey, we're going to show your video tonight, actually." But so thank you, Dan. And we don't know if everyone's seen it because we don't know who's lurking. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Saturday's show last night and also on my Warrior Code channel called Who Do You Serve? But yeah, it's just a perspective, something to think about.
I offered to play some of it on here, but I know that you've had all of that that you could take, and also like you said, everyone that's on our regulars anyway, they probably already seen it, so there really is no point in me doing that, I don't suppose.
No, I mean, we just had a over 2 hour show last night about it. So to show it again, I think would be,
Redundant.
there's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Plus, I can't stand to look at myself that long. I don't know how you guys watch it.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate you. You always say you don't put yourself on there because it's not about you. And
Exactly.
the only reason I put myself in most of my videos because I don't have the software to just put an avatar in there. However you do it, you put like some really neat videos out there when you're doing your Wednesday word where you don't show your face.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I just don't show my face because it ain't about me. But that message, I figured I had to show my face because I didn't want anyone, oh, look, he's hiding. I ain't hiding nothing. I looked straight in the camera and said exactly what I meant to say at the end of it. So There should be no question about what I believe in.
Well, cool, man. You know, it was a great video. And before you even went on, I went in there and was telling everybody, hey, this is a great message. It's an important message for sure. And everyone, I think, should hear it. They need to hear it, especially if they're worshiping the wrong guy. You know, not the wrong guy, the wrong father. You know, I'll say that loud and proud. I do. I believe the same way you do that it's not the right father that everyone's been worshiping. I don't care who knows what I'm saying, you know, because I believe it sure as you do. And I believed it for a long time, like I told you earlier in private. You know, you can't have all these abominations that have happened in the Old Testament and then look at the New Testament and go, wait a minute, that can't be the same father. It just can't be, you know?
Well, like I said, everyone needs to take it to the spirit themselves. We're all on different levels of the journey, but I just knew I had to put it out after the sacrifice I seen. I know how short the time is, and basically, Father said, "Put it out there." I put it out there, but take it for what it's worth. As I said many times, I ain't telling nobody to believe nothing. Anyone who would believe a man's a fool anyway. So don't believe me. Believe the spirit. I know the spirit will back me up. Like I said last night. Hey, we got a lone one and Robin Keneally in the house too, along with Von Keen. A lone one says I look like the father on the Waltons. I grew up watching.
I happen to agree with
At least
that.
I don't look like grandpa yet, so I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, he kind of the father of Wattens. He's kind of got that same mustache, you know, the with the glasses. You kind of sound like him a little bit too, you know. Whenever you're you know, I can't do your voice, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Robin Keneally says she heard about that back in the 90s, coast to coast, and some other sources discussed that. I'm not sure what she means, if she means the same thing I was talking about or not. That's interesting. That's cool. I have had confirmation since then, I've because believe me, I didn't just believe it either. When I was showed it by the Spirit, I'm like, nah, that's crazy thinking. And then Father confirmed it over the years. So it's pretty wild. It was even talked about back then. And I even used to watch some shows. It's strange. I never came across it, but interesting. Very interesting.
Well, I see Sagittarically Speaking's been muted up. I wonder what he's up to.
Well, hello there, everybody. How you doing? I was just waiting my turn.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to pretty much say my little 2 cents worth to you as well. I mean, acknowledge that I got a lot out of it. When I first got there and I realized it was going to be 2 hours. I mean, my knee jerk reaction was I don't know if I'm up to the task of 2 hours of Bible verses right now, but the more that you talked and the more I heard, the more intrigued I got and the more interesting it was. And by the time it was over, I was actually, I wanted more. I wanted to hear more. I mean, it was really thought provoking. It was really well presented. You did a great job of putting all that together. I know that there had to been I know that it couldn't have been easy for you, and you did a really great job of presenting the information. It was real well spoken. I just wanted to give you kudos for doing a good job of presenting it. I know you're not big on accolades, but you did a good job.
Well, thank you guys. And of course, again, all glory to the Father. I was just doing what I was prompted to do. So I take full responsibility. I take all the hate, but if you got something good out of it, that's all the Spirit and the Father. So
So if we got something bad out of it, that was all you.
absolutely. Father never does bad.
Okay. Okay.
But I remember like being younger and going to like church as a child. They they would make like you would see a copy of the Old Testament lying around the church here, lying around the church there, but you didn't see it like as predominantly available as the King James version in the New Testament or whatever, and it just didn't seem like a lot of those verses that you quoted last night. I just had never even heard them before. I didn't even know. Um, I didn't even know that they existed. I mean, it's not like I've really ever studied the Bible nearly to the degree that I probably should, and I hope to become better, well versed with it, going forward. But it was just some of that stuff was even beyond, what you would call quote unquote fire and brimstone talk. I mean, it was some of that stuff that you were quoting. I couldn't even believe it sounded more like it was from a covenant witch book than it was from a Bible.
Yeah, exactly. Most of your churches won't talk about that kind of stuff, and if they do talk about the Old Testament, it's always the stories we hear over and over and over,
Oh yeah.
and they take them totally wrong, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a message that needs to be heard because I don't do dates, I don't try to fear monger any of that crap, but I'm just telling you, people. After that sacrifice, that was a sure sign to me. My alarm bells went off. Like I said in the video, my spirit was really grieved. And my alarm bells went off immediately. I understand what they're doing. That we don't realize how close we are to the one world religion. And the minute it happens, you better not be running around saying Jesus or you're done. Because that is not their one true God. He has
When
nothing.
I was watching that video last night of the sacrifice, I noticed the crowd that was actually there. There was probably less than 100 people in the audience, like present to watch it, and I would say there's probably closer to 30 or 40, and 10 or
Mhm.
20 of them were people that were like part of the presentation, part of the show, like
Yeah.
help, and it almost my discernment tells me that that was almost some type of publicity stunt or
Yeah.
some type of something to try to cause some type of stir, or they were going for some type of reaction, is what my discernment tells me that was.
Well,
Well,
the
what?
other thing. Oh, real quick though, I wanted to add on what he was saying before you answer that. The other thing was where they were doing it at. They were doing it on Mount Olives. They were doing it on the place where Jesus did a lot of sermons and did a lot of well, that's where he was crucified at too. So it was
No,
almost
no,
like
no, no,
they
no,
were,
no, 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 no. He was not crucified on the Mount of Olives.
oh wait, I'm sorry, my bad. But he did a lot of sermons there, right?
Well, he did more praying there than anything, but
Right. I'm
I'm sure
sorry.
there was a few sermons there. I mean, basically the Mount of Olives. Anytime Jesus went to see Mary and Lazarus and Martha, them people we like to go see a good bit, and then went back to Jerusalem, you always have the only way is the Mount of Olives. So the Mount of Olives was a very private yet traveled place way that Jesus would have traveled. I mean, we know for sure the Mount of Olives is where he did the final prayer about take this cup from me and sweated blood and all that stuff.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I could look it up. I had a whole I had a whole bunch of stuff looked up about the Mount of Olives, but suffice it to say, the Mount of Olives was a very, very special and important spot for Jesus and the Father. They talked a lot on the Mount of Olives. When Jesus would wander off to pray, most of the time it was on the Mount of Olives. Not all the time,
Does that
but
have any reference to the whole extending an out an olive branch when you're trying to make peace with somebody? Is there any connection there?
That's what
well,
I
that I don't know actually where that saying comes from. So I don't know if there would be a connection to that or not. Possibly. But I think that came from didn't I think wasn't that a Greek thing or something?
Yeah,
Didn't
you're
he?
probably right.
I think it
Whenever
was
olives, olives
I think
usually have some type of Greek reference in them somehow, don't they?
that's what the Greeks did, or you could if like they'd come to conquer you, maybe you could give them. I think that come from Greek history, but I'm not positive. But that sounds more right to me. from what I remember. I'm old. I don't remember everything anymore.
And then the other thing I wanted to comment on was those two yahoos that were doing it. They really didn't seem they just really didn't seem like they knew what they were doing. They acted like, I mean, obviously they weren't professionals. They weren't good at their job. They really seemed like they were like mismanaged, and it really just seemed like a sham to me. Like they really, I mean, I'm not saying that I would ever condone doing something like that, but if I was going to do something like that, I would make it look a little bit more professional and be more prepared to do it with not a guy sitting there trying to figure out how to get a knife out of a box and how to hold a how to hold its legs and how to do all, I mean, it just seemed like it just seemed terrible. It was like watching I don't know, it was just like watching a really bad like it was like watching everything you're not supposed to do video, how not to do it correctly, you know?
Yeah, basically. But make no mistake, don't take it lightly. Remember, it only took Adam and Eve to get us where we is at. So don't think because there's only 5 people. That was very significant. That was the 70 nations. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
All
That
right.
was the Gentiles. That's why it was a Gentile that did it. That was mankind, basically, reaffirming a covenant to the Old Testament God of Israel, is what that was. That's why I made it clear and looked in the camera and said, I ain't bowing to this God.
Okay.
We all it took was Adam and Eve to make the covenant last time. And then all it took was Abraham and the people, or not Abraham, but Moses and those people in the desert to make that covenant. So make no mistake, there was a covenant made. And if you ain't against it, you got problems. Because that's exactly
Yeah,
the
I
covenant.
wasn't trying to make light of it by any stretch of the imagination. I just didn't see it. Just didn't seem to me like they
Some
really like they knew what they were doing. Like they really just seemed like. And I get what you're telling me, and I totally respect the sincerity of how the seriousness of it. I'm not trying to take anything away from it. I just didn't really feel like these people like really like it just seemed like they should have had their stuff together better than what they did if they're really going to try to put on a presentation of that nature. That they should have had it. They should have had it. They should have done a. They
one
should have
thing,
done
one thing
more.
everyone should know, that is not the man that was supposed to do the sacrifice. The one they had lined up to do it originally, that they had planned on doing it, backed out at the last minute.
Oh, okay.
And that's
Well, that explains a lot.
this whole thing. The way they found this guy is a whole wild little thing in itself. This rabbi dude, who you see in the video talking most of the time, was walking around, and he went to, I think it's the pool of Bethesda. I forget which pool, whichever pool they go to do their morning communal bath, where they all get together and all the old men get naked and hang out and bath together, because that's what they do, I guess. I don't, whatever. But he went to wherever they go do their morning bath, their morning communal bath, where only the Jewish people go. You know what I mean? And he ran into the dude that ended up doing the sacrifice. Okay. He ran into that guy there, and he said, "Are you Jewish?" And that guy said to him, "Well, not according to your laws and customs, but I practice your religion." And they started talking, and he tells him, "We need someone." Basically, I'm making the story short. You can go watch a little video about it. There's a video out there about how the rabbi found this guy. But he said, "We need someone to do the sacrifice." He said, and that guy started crying and said, "I've been dreaming for 4 days that I would be called to do the sacrifice." He said, "Well, first of all, you got to quit crying, because you can't give a sacrifice if you're sad." And he gets into all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, the whole way that guy came about doing the sacrifice, that was not the original man. The original man backed out. I don't know why. I never investigated. I don't know why he backed out. Maybe there was a flight problem. I don't know. But he didn't make it. And that dude had dreamed for 4 days that he was going to be the one to kill the lamb, to kill the goat, to do the sacrifice and make the covenant. So
Oh wow.
it had to be a goyim. It had to be one of us. It could not be an Israelite. That's why he was so happy. He said, "I couldn't believe I found him in our bath, where the Israelites go, because he wasn't an Israelite. See, we're not Israelites to them, and they might say we can become Israelites, but well, I ain't gonna get into it. Don't bow down to me.
All right. Well, I would have to want to first of all, and I don't feel compelled to become one at this moment in time.
But yeah, like I said, we talked about this for but 3 hours last night or more. So unless people in the chat have any questions, I think we should, you know,
All right.
move.
Well, yeah, I said what I needed to say, but that was an interesting backstory. I didn't. I missed that part. If you had already said that part, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that part.
I didn't say that to anybody, but yeah, when I was
Okay.
researching, I found all that out.
All right. So what we got next, there, Mister Hebrew Captain, sir?
Well, I just wanted to say, and then I'll shut up about it. I'm so sorry about that, man. Somehow, and I don't know how I did this. I must have had some kind of weird brain fart or something. But I got my Mount Olives confused with Golgotha. Now, how the heck did I do that? I don't know how the heck I did that. It just happened, and I do apologize.
Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, everybody knows he was crucified on Golgotha, the Mount of Skulls, not the
Yeah,
Mount of Olives. But yeah, hey, mistakes happen.
but
That's
yeah,
why I just jumped in there, though. I was like, well, no, I didn't, he didn't. Yeah. I just
yeah,
wanted to
you,
make sure that people knew that that is not where he. But like I told Dan privately, and this is, I may have even said it on the show. I don't know, but pure speculation on my part. But knowing the enemy and the way he likes to do what he likes to do, I wouldn't be surprised if where that lamb's blood was shed or goat's blood was shed. And by the way, it had a black head, and that's very significant too.
hmm,
But where that goat's blood was shed, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the exact spot where Jesus kneeled down to say that prayer about taking the cup from me. Just because the enemy I know knows where that spot is. So wouldn't surprise me none. Either way, it was a pure slap in the face to Jesus. It happened north of the Temple Mount, which is very, very significant. The goat had a black head. I mean, so much symbology and significance in what happened there. And it was a covenant between mankind and Israel, basically, is what it was,
hmm.
by the 70 nations. So it was very important. And I don't know what our watchmen are doing other than picking their nose and talking about Syria.
Right? No, hey, man. I know you're tired of talking about it, so I will change the subject. I know. By the way, if anybody wants to see that, that was on Scare Performance show last night. So go check that out, or you could watch the video. The video's on Armor Up's channel, his other channel, um, Warriors. What's that called again, sir?
Warriors Call.
Warriors Call. Yes, sir. Go check it out on there. And now I'll shut up about it and change the subject. So, my wife was sitting on the couch the other day, and she was going through some things on the internet. And my wife does not believe in the Mandela effect, does not do Mandela effects, does not like me talking about the Mandela effects, tries to shut me up for talking about Mandela effects, as a matter of fact, or anything else for that matter. No, hey, I'm just kidding about that. But anyway, long story short, she noticed that the Pope Mobile, that there's some funny inconsistencies with the Pope Mobile. And I do know that there have been many different Pope Mobiles over the years, but one of the things that she pointed out was the Pope Mobile that is in existence today it's not completely covered in glass. It seems as though like the front part of it and maybe the back part of it is covered in bulletproof glass, but it seems like the side windows are completely exposed. And I thought that was weird, and thought, he's completely exposed um, from bullet shots. I mean, anybody that wanted to pick off the Pope could do so if they shot him from the side. I'm just saying.
Now remember, I remember you telling me about that, and the side it don't have the glass, but it's got the armor of God, don't it?
Right.
As a bad joke, I guess.
Yeah. You tried. Hey, you did
All
tell a funny joke. You did tell a funny joke earlier, and I do remember the joke.
right.
Um, you know what? Before I go on about this Pope story,
But yeah, I want to hear more about the Pope Mobile. Let's hear about that.
oh, okay.
I'm just sorry I interjected with my bad armor of God reference.
Hey, no problem, man. It was kind of funny, like I said.
But you
Uh,
know what? I looked at it. The Pope Mobile is made by Mercedes Benz, and
really?
yeah, and they donate them to him every so often. But he hadn't gotten a new one in like 20 something years. He was way past due
Hmm.
for a new Pope Mobile, but they provided one here not too long ago. In the past 3 or 4 years, you got a brand new Mercedes from given to him by the Mercedes Benz Corporation, donated. You know, being the Pope and all everything, I guess you get those perks.
That's interesting because what I was going to talk about the side windows, they do have guard. I told my wife, I said, well, maybe that's where the guards, his bodyguards, stand, and there are some pictures of bodyguards standing there, but they're not there all the time. You would think that the side windows, I don't know, maybe they roll up. Maybe he just has them rolled down like when he's waving at people. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, in my honest opinion, I can't imagine somebody who would want to shoot a religious person, no
Huh?
matter what religion you are. In my personal opinion, I mean, I just can't imagine somebody wanting. I can see how somebody would want to shoot a politician. Because of the party differences, disagree, he sends people to war, whatever. I mean, I can see how someone could get so disagree, like so, agenda driven by politics and want to assassinate a politician or whatever. But a man of God, I mean, where do you think you're going after you kill a man of God?
Because they're against the Catholic religion, I guess.
But still, I mean, he still represents. I mean, he still represents benevolence. I
Yeah,
don't know. I guess I'm just being a weirdo. I'm being naive. I mean, there are
Go
crazy people out there.
go look at go look at a video. I think it's the scariest movie ever. Just put it out about all of the attacks on the churches and stuff in the last year.
Yeah, you're right. I'm being naive about the situation. I guess he really does need all that.
it's not only that, but a lot of people consider him like one of the biggest religious leaders of the world, which there is, to me, in my mind, there's no such thing. The only religious leader, or not religious leader, but the only leader is God, of course.
Well, and then you know what
You
just hit
know,
me is all that stuff that goes on with
that's
the
the
with
title
the
they
with
gave
the
him.
whole boys being molested and things of that nature too. I
Yeah.
forgot about all that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a whole rabbit hole we can go down with the Catholic Church.
Hey, there's my favorite lurking zombie cat. Welcome.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. You
We
know
got
what?
Red Shirt and Stone and man, Tobin Schwing in the house. Bunch of people popped in.
That reminds me, we never did do a proper call out at the beginning of the show.
I just did.
That's it?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
Ha 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 ha.
so easy. We also got, now you got me laughing. We also got Robin Keneally sporting her wrench. And we got
Robin Keneally.
Robin Keneally. And we got a lone one in the house, pretty minimal in the house. Eddie Von Keen sporting his wrench. Of course, he's the first one here, holding the door open, waiting for other people. Oiler Greg in the house. Hey, he made it just in time for the shout out. And like I said, Stone Bender, Red Shirt Blue, Zombie Cat Club, and Tobin Schween.
Swing.
Schween. I think that's everybody.
Hey, real quick before we go any further, I just
Oh,
want to acknowledge that we get so many. I don't know how to express my gratitude or whatever. I'm not really always really good at that kind of thing, but I noticed we got a lot of people who show up week in and week out to support our channel, and I want to personally acknowledge you guys as I personally appreciate you guys showing up every week. I know I'm speaking for Armor and Hebrew as well, but I just wanted to personally make sure I actually acknowledge that you guys do that and how much that really means to us. So,
Absolutely. I ditto. I second that emotion. And Mad Max popped up in the house. And Dark Wolf's Den. Hey, DW. Don't forget, I think they're having a big gathering there coming up soon. He can put the info in the chat, but I know it's coming up in a couple weeks or so, I think, out in Idaho. So anyone in that area that wants to meet up with some other Mandela-ators, they're getting together. A little too far for me, but
where's it
yeah,
at?
yeah, I agree with Saji. Yeah, we're happy for each and every one of you. Why you show up, we're still trying to figure it out. But hey, we are sure glad you do.
I imagine they show up for the same reason we do. We get some form of sanity out of all of this insanity.
Yeah, I think just to see what train wreck's going to happen this week, because that's why I show up. Crickets. See, you think you're joke bombed. That's how you
Yeah,
bomb.
well, I was laughing. I just didn't hit the mute button in time.
Thank you.
But Hebrew, where'd you go? Did you?
Oh,
I thought you might be out there looking out the window for the Pope
Oh,
Mobile.
he wants one of us to model our shirt. If I got to look at me again on a camera tonight, I'm done. After
Yeah.
looking at me for over two, no, I don't want to look at me. I don't know why anyone would want to look at me.
Well, my shirt got here. I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't even know Saji got his. I'm glad he did.
Yeah, I think it got here Thursday or Friday, and I wore it like the next day, that whole day. Yeah, and then I just took it off the
so
next morning when I got in the shower. So it's not getting back on till after I wash it. And I had it had that new shirt smell, and like I guess from where they put the label on there, whatever it was like. I don't know how to describe it, but it almost smelled like the faint smell of vinegar. Something that I think has to do with how they apply the vinyl or whatever the print that they put on it, But anyway, there's no way I'm putting that shirt back on right now. I'm sorry. I'll model it next week, maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if you could like just hold it up to the
Why
camera.
don't you model yours there, big fella?
Oh, me?
Yeah, didn't you get one?
Well, here's the embarrassing thing. I
You didn't
actually
get yourself a shirt.
I didn't get my no, I didn't.
Oh man, you make me feel bad. I'll have to model.
Well, what are we going to do with you, man? I'm not in a position to share the shirt right now. I'm sorry. I'm maybe later. If I get a break here, I'll go try to track it down. But I think it's in the bottom of my laundry basket, and
Yeah.
it's not in a presentable form right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sadly enough, after I ordered all 3 shirts, I kind of didn't have enough to order myself one.
See how you are. You're so giving, brother.
Well, hey,
But it was a good fit, and it's a quality shirt. I will say that. I was very happy to receive it, and I want to thank you for sending it to me. And you definitely need to get one for yourself.
I will probably next month. But I tell you, I'm just excited about it, because you guys you work so hard on the show, and you do all these things and present stuff, and I'm not going to get sentimental here, but just
You
saying.
think I work hard, brother?
This is a labor of love for me. When it gets to be Friday, Saturday night, and I'm watching dance show, I start jumping at the bit, ready for Shifty Sunday.
I love Shifty Sunday. I don't consider this work. Like Sadie said, this is more than like therapy, stress
Yeah,
relief.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I'll even go back and listen to our show sometimes. Not every week, but so if I think we had a really good one, I'll come Monday morning after when I get up, I'm having my coffee. I'll see how many views we got, and I'll skip through our show from the night before just to rehash it and listen to it and see what was said in chat. I really like our show. I think we do. I like to toot my own horn every once in a while. I think we do a great job.
Hey, we have a lot of fun and nothing else. Eddie Von Keen said he likes this better than Taco Tuesday. That's probably because Sadie didn't show up last week. We missed him.
Right.
Wasn't Sadie missing last Taco Tuesday? Yeah.
Yeah, my phone was out of commission. My battery had ran out its last leg. It was to the point where it wouldn't even hold a charge when it was on the charging cable. But my new battery arrived, and I'm back now, so should be fine.
I love Stone's question. And it's so true. He says, "Thanks, Max. Max is new here, so welcome, Mad Max."
Oh.
He says, "Thanks, Max. What brings you here? Mandela Effect, Jesus, action figures? You never know on the Hebrew channel."
That's awesome.
Hey, that's the thing about us is we bring a little bit of something from each column. Each of us brings a little bit of our own, flavor to the. Well, I would almost call it almost like a potluck. We each bring something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you never know what's going to shift in the Shifty Sunday on any given Sunday. That's for sure.
Right.
You never know what's happening. We sure do. And see, you got a lot of love in the chat there, Sadie. I don't know if you're watching the chat, but they're like, "Yep, that's why Taco Tuesday wasn't as good. They didn't have Sadie."
Well, thank you guys.
Said
I really felt bad about missing. I really was down and out about the whole thing. I was so upset that my phone wouldn't let me get on the broadcast, and I didn't get on YouTube for like 48 hours afterwards, just at all, watch any videos, because I just didn't want to. I was just so really sad about the fact that I missed.
Yeah, he said he missed your Garfield voice. So. Well, yeah, we sure missed you. And yeah, like you said, we didn't even have contact with you for a couple days. I mean, we knew what happened. We knew you was waiting on a battery. But yeah, that's glad to have you back, brother.
Well, for once, Amazon got it right. They said it would be here on Saturday. Blah 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 blah. The tracking information, and it actually showed up on Saturday.
Well, you know what? Speaking of miracles, we were talking about different religions and different things that people say, and I was talking about there was a comment on someone's channel, and I know who, but I ain't gonna mention who. And they said shalom, and I said shalom. Shalom sounds Jewish to me. That's what Jewish would say. And then Saji brought up a good point, and he said something that what is it? You said something that Muslims would say, and I do believe Saji's got a pretty good story to tell us about that real quick. It's a funny story, and I said, hey, I think you should tell that on the air. And he kind of laughed it off, but I really think you should, brother. It sounds pretty funny. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I am pushing
No,
you.
no, I don't mind sharing it. It's not necessarily in good taste, but it's not that bad either.
It's funny. It's funny.
I used to drive a school bus long time ago in a galaxy far away for a Head Start kids. Head Start is a program for children before they even go into kindergarten to go into school and get some education pre-kindergarten, just to get used to riding the bus and getting and going and blah blah blah. And anyway, a lot of the kids that are on my route were Hispanic, and and it was a downtown round, so it was like kind of like a potluck. But I had a large amount of ethnic and Hispanic and black, and a lot of a very diverse crew. I had some of the parents also had an aide on the bus that would help me with the kids, make sure that they were in their seatbelts and that they were strapped in right, that they were all sitting down, they were being good, that they were safe, blah blah blah. Because I had to focus on driving. Anyway, besides all that, we had a certain parent that was trying to thank my aide for helping her. It was near the end of the school year. She was trying to thank my aide for being so kind to her child and helping her, throughout the course of the school year. And she said to her, "Assalamu alaikum." And I know that's Muslim, and I know that, but and I also know Muslims don't um, like to eat pork. Like it's a big deal for them not to eat pork and blah blah blah. And I said, did she say? She said assalamu alaikum. She's like, yeah. She said assalamu alaikum. I'm like, well, what are you supposed to say back? Like, what is the proper response? Like when someone says that, I'm sure that there's like something you're supposed to say back, like the proper etiquette or whatever for when that spoken to you. I just don't know what you're supposed to say. And she looks at me and she goes, I don't know, Oscar Mayer bacon.
I think that would be the opposite of what you would want.
Oh man, that'd be great. I love that. See, it's just a nice little joke,
Right? It's a
And
true
actually,
story though. It's not really a joke.
Right. It's a true story, but it's
and actually, for the record, shalom is Hebrew.
ah.
Not
Oh, okay.
the
I thought it
Jews
was
speak
Jewish.
Hebrew. Yeah, Jewish isn't a language. Hebrew is a language.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and there's nothing.
And
Hey,
so,
my
but
first comment on my video that we were talking about was from someone I haven't seen in years, and that's what I told her. I said, "Man, I ain't seen you in a long time. Good to see you." But it said shalom. Good
Mhm.
job, worded. So I don't mind shalom. You know, I don't mind speaking a different language. I'm not saying because I believe what I believe that if you'd say shalom to me, I would freak out. You know what I mean? Just speaking
Yeah.
Hebrew. Yeah.
But I kind of like that story. It's a good, nice little story. Just thought it was funny that said, like you said, the opposite of what you know.
Well, does anybody know what that means? Allah, how'd you say it? Allah, okay.
assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, alaikum. I think it's an M at the end.
Alaikum.
Like M is in Mark.
Probably means like have a good day, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could try to Google it and translate it. I don't. I really don't
I
know.
didn't know if anyone in our chat might know offhand, but
Oscar Mayer bacon. I don't see
it
anybody.
means peace be unto you. See, that's what I figured. Something to that effect. Have a good day. Peace be
Ah,
unto you. Cool. So, what's their word for peace? Is it lakum? Is that peace? Because usually their sentences are switched around. At least I know most other languages. I'm just curious on these type of things. Be nice to be able to say,
Assalamu alaikum, the Arabic greeting meaning peace be unto you, was the standard salutation among members of the Nation of Islam. The greeting was routinely deployed whenever and wherever Muslims gathered and interacted, whether socially or within worship and other contexts. And wa alaikum salam is the response.
ah, that would be
Wa
probably,
alaikum salam.
may God give you peace too, or something, maybe. May God bless you. Allah is definitely God. So,
hmm.
Yeah, peace be unto you. Let's see. and then the we alaikum salam is and unto you peace.
And unto you peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, in our church, we reach around and there's a certain prayer that we say, and then after that, they ask us to turn around and shake the hands of our neighbors and say, "Peace be with you." And it used to the saying would be, you would say, "Peace be with you," and then the other person would say, "And also with you." And now it's, "Peace be with you and with your spirit also." So it's just a slight change, but I like I liked it the other way around better, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a Columbia.edu, like it's an educational website, and here's what it says here at the end. Common in the Arab world, the greeting was one of the few linguistic conventions of Eastern or Orthodox Islam that the nation retained in its original Arabic form. The Muslim practice of hailing fellow Muslims and others with the Assalamu alaikum mirrored the tradition in popular black culture of swapping evocative and expressive salutations such as "What's happening?" Is that not terrible?
What's happening? Then there used to be a show in the 70s
I
called
mean,
What's Happening.
that couldn't have been wrote any more square than that, you know?
Yeah, that like takes all the meaning out of it. It's like, yeah, there was an old show called What's Happening. It was funny. I used to watch
Yeah, Dolomite.
Yeah.
Dolomite. And namaste means all that is good within me greets all that is good within you. Now that's a lot of stuff in one word. I like that.
It sure is.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'll tell you what, with that being said, Armory, would you like to do your good news segment right now, or?
Already we could. Yeah, we need some good news after all this show so far.
Oh yeah.
But don't
People
don't
keep
forget to bring up the don't we have a good news?
Oh, the breaking news picture. Oh man, I
Yeah.
don't know how
Yeah.
to do that. I was going to share the screen.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it then.
Ebro has it.
Yeah, we
'Cause I
don't
got to
need
share the
that.
screen to show the video I'm going to show in the second good news story. But the first good news story, as I said, although I wasn't here last week, the week before when I talked about for those that were here will remember the homeless lady who was singing opera and the policeman took her video and it went viral and we listened to her singing and it was pretty amazing. So I have a follow up about what happened after that video. Wait, got to get my reading glasses. Hold on. Didn't know it was going to the news already. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, maybe we don't. Okay.
No, I don't have it.
This is the follow up.
Is this what you meant by train wreck, by the way?
Yeah. Hold on, people. The rails are getting. We're going to bring it back. We got some good news this week. So, follow up to the homeless lady. The City of Angels opened her hearts for a woman with an angelic voice, and it's lifting her up to new heights. A homeless Russian American woman was singing opera in the subway when the admiring police officer asked if he could tweet a video of her voice. And now she's beyond grateful to the man who changed her life. That's what we showed last week. After the melodic encounter rocketed her to fame, the folks at the LA Police Department asked Emily Zamorka what they could do for her. What she wanted most was to thank Officer Frazier for sharing the video, so they set up a meeting. I can't believe this is happening, she said as she broke into tears and embraced the brawny Frazier, who wrapped her in a bear hug. Her voice continues to captivate our city, and as the offers for help pour in, we ask Emily what we can do for you. Her answer, I want to thank Officer Frazier for taking the video. Her wish was granted tonight. And then there's pictures of her meeting him. In just one day, The video of her voice echoing on a subway platform opened a floodgate of online donations and paid singing gigs. On Saturday, she sang the identical operatic song in front of thousands at the grand opening of the historic Little Italy in the San Pedro area of LA. LA Councilman Joe Buscano, an Italian American who was involved with event organizers, invited Zamorka to do a performance. After his speech, he introduced her to the crowd before she sang the Italian aria by Puccini. Holding the microphone, she said, "I'm so glad that I could touch your hearts with my voice. Thank you so much. Overwhelmed." The councilman and his
Awesome.
have taken the formerly homeless woman under their wing, helping her to get shelter and paying her $700 for the 3-minute performance. After serious health problems a decade ago, the 52-year-old musician and former piano teacher was struggling to make ends meet. Then disaster struck when she said the $10,000 violin which she played on sidewalks to make extra money was stolen and destroyed by a passerby. After that, she became homeless. A GoFundMe campaign started by a consultant for Buscano has raised more than $68,000 with many donors hoping it will be enough to replace her violin. Zamorka says so many violins have been offered to her since the story went viral, and she very much appreciates all the generosity, but she's waiting for an opportunity to acquire one that is closer to the string beauty that she lost. "My violin was a very special violin," she told TMZ. "I'm looking for an instrument that I can fall in love with." Over the whirlwind last week, Zamorka was offered a recording contract from music producer Joel Diamond, who drafted an offer letter in the hopes of creating a classical EDM crossover hit. But with counsel from others, she's wisely keeping her options open. She just wants to return to her normal life, working again as an artist to sustain herself. Thanks to Officer Fraser and all the kind donations, it looks like that dream is just around the corner. So there's a follow-up on the awesome homeless opera singer.
You know what I like most about that story was the fact that she was offered like so much more, like recording contract, all this and that and the other, and she's so down to earth, and she just knows what she just wants to go back to her normal way. She don't want to be super famous. She don't want to have a whole bunch of money. She just wants a nice instrument and wants to be able to su- support herself and do her thing the way she likes to do it. That that says a lot. Just that in itself. So many people would have, you know, think that the fame and the fortune the is so much the greener and all the glitters is gold and all that hoopla. You know, it's taken me a long time in my life to come to the conclusion that I don't really even want that, even though it looks enticing and it looks so like so much fun to be to have money to burn and sports cars and live in a lavish lifestyle and be semi famous and all that. But I know I don't really want that. That's not what I really want. And she, as tempting as it was, she still chose not to take it. That was great. That's a great. I really enjoyed that part of the story.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Absolutely. All right. Well, that is the follow up to that one. Now, the next one, this one is just awesome, I think. If this don't bring a smile to your face, goodness gracious, I don't know what shall. But here we go with this one. And I have a video that'll go with this one I'll share when I'm done reading the story. It was a moment captured between, oh, actually, I should share the page. That way, as I'm scrolling down reading, you can at least see pictures of the little boy. So, 1 second. Tab. Here we go. Hebrew, if you want to share me, please. Okay, hopefully those in the chat will see it. Now, let me get back to the page so I can read it. Okay, here we go. It was a moment captured between a little boy and his mother, 3 short sentences that touched the hearts of many who shared the video on social media. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. 3-year-old Ian told his mother, Alyssa Briel, who captured the message on her phone. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. In this video posted on social media October 1st, a little after 8:30 a.m., Ian was walking with his mom to school. He wore a backpack and he carried a banana. Yay, she replied. Good job. Brielle and Ian's father, Alpha, had been teaching him for some time that he could grow up to be anything he wants. The 3-sentence affirmation was one of their first lessons more than a year ago. I taught Ian this positive affirmation on his 2nd birthday last year in hopes that he will one day memorize it, understand it, and use it as a motivational tool whenever he needed it. Well, he shocked me this morning. Out of nowhere, he started repeating it, Brielle said in a post on Facebook sharing the video. He ended with enthusiasm, LOL. Once we made it to our destination, so proud of the little boy he is growing into. Ian's parents told ABC News on Wednesday that they've been moved by the love and kind words after the video was posted. For them, it was just a simple lesson with their son. Now, we'll show the video this is. Let me get it. Share it. Window. Share. Okay, here's the video. We may play it a couple times, but he definitely ends with enthusiasm.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart.
Oh, wait, no video? Hold on. Let me try to.
We can hear it, but I don't see anything.
Let me try it in another video player. 1 second. Talk amongst yourself, as my friend Hebrew would say.
You can do it, Armor. You can do anything.
I can do anything. I'm smart. Well, that part I might be out of at least. But I am blessed, and I can make this work. So hold on. You got to see the video. Him walking with his bananas. He's so cute. This is so adorable. Let me see. Open with. Let me try.
I like that little suit. That little suit he had on that picture. That's cute.
Yep, walking to school.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if we can get video with this one. Let me share it. 1 second. This one should hopefully give us video.
If you can turn the volume up just a tad bit too, it's kind of faint.
All right, I don't know if I can. I might be able to bump that some. Let me crank it. Okay, share me again. Now, hopefully, we got video. Here we go. We'll do it a couple times.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
Oh, that's great.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
That banana.
I am blessed. I can do anything. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
Oh man.
That don't bring a smile to your heart. I don't know what could. That's awesome.
I'll tell you what.
Carrying his breakfast, got his backpack on, heading to school. More of us need to remind ourselves of that.
Yeah, back when I was in high school, I played football on the football team, and it was August, and it was time for practice to start. We did 2-a-days before school started for like about 3.5, 4 weeks, and then August in Cincinnati area, it was still pretty darn hot. I mean, the morning practice was tough, but the late afternoon, evening practice was even tougher because you still had that afternoon heat kicking you. And I literally had to put um, a post-it note telling me I can I you can do. I literally it said it was a post-it note on the mirror in my bathroom. It said you can do this. You it just said that you can do this because I so wanted to not go to those practices, especially the afternoon ones. I would try to figure out a way to. I would sit there in my mind and think, what kind of excuse can I come up with and I have to go to this practice because I know we're going to have to run laps. We're going to have to run through the tires. We're going to have to do all these things that I don't want to have to go do. And if it wasn't for that post-it note telling me I could do this, I don't know that I would have made it. I don't know that I would have probably gave up.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. That's an affirmation we could all use. I could use that, watch that video, or listen to that over and over again while I'm working out. It'll get me going, you know.
Yeah, we could figure out something for you to say at the first line there.
Yeah, positive affirmations go a long way. They really do. They can help you out. I mean, especially when you're trying to
Oh,
when you're facing an obstacle you don't think you can face.
I just I just now caught on to what he just said. That very funny.
Yeah,
Well, you
you
know,
gotta be able
you can't have looks and brains too.
yeah.
All right.
Glad you got blessed with looks.
Oh boy, Armor, I tell you, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Punt, brother. It's all we can do is just punt.
uh, it took me a while. There, that should tell you something. It took me a while to catch on, but that brings me to our next segment, though.
Oh, hold on. Do I need to get the picture ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, see, I'm falling. I'm so behind tonight, people. Hold on. Let me find your picture. I know what we need.
See, I'm in the dark on this one. I don't even know what's going
No,
on.
you know, you just don't know that you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you know. Hold on. Let me get her open. Open her up. Please stand by.
Alone One had an interesting comment. It says, "I am tall. I am old. I am tired, and I am tired." That's mine. I am tall. I am old. I am tired.
There we go. Well, hey,
Well, Greg says he needs one now.
well, he can make.
That's a good one. Let's say between now and next week, everybody, including myself and you, Hebrew, will come up with a one positive affirmation for ourselves, something that we will tell ourselves to help us feel better and more optimistic, positive, whatever. Everybody that's here now today in chat, if you're here next week, that's your assignment. You have to come. Everybody has to write one, and then we can use each other's as more support because everybody will write a personal one for themselves, and then we can all have more positive reinforcement by borrowing the ones that other people wrote.
I think that's a wonderful idea. And that includes all you in the chat.
Yes, everybody in chat as well. I mean, if you don't want to participate, we don't absolutely have
You
to.
don't
We
want to
won't.
twist your arm to
We won't. Yeah, we won't kick you out or anything, but we strongly encourage you to.
3 things to affirm yourself of every week. like that. I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. Something to that effect.
Yep.
I already know mine, but I ain't gonna say nothing until next week.
Well, I'm going to give us some time and think about it too.
But hey, it looks like something's grinding my brother's gears.
Something is grinding his gears.
Yeah.
So this is our favorite segment. Well, not really, but it's a great segment. It's what grinds Hebrews' gears.
Well, not really.
Well, you you talk about, you always tell me, you told me before we went on the show that I always come up with street ones like street traffic, stuff like that. And I admitted that I do.
I was curious. Do you have road rage issues, my man?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to lie to our lovely audience out there. I do have a bit of a road rage issue. I'm working on it, but it's still there. It's lurking in the dark corners of my mind, but I do tend to get it out on this show. So that's a good thing right there. I get it on the show and not nobody that's in traffic. I stopped flipping people out. I stopped flipping people off, and I stopped yelling at them from my car window. So that's a good thing, right?
So you're not telling them that they're number one. That's not what you're saying?
Right, yeah.
All right,
That's a
I get it.
in the right direction for sure.
But no, I want to talk about restaurants for a second. Now, just imagine yourself sitting down. You're going to a restaurant with your family, and you're sitting inside of a restaurant, and it's either an Italian restaurant or it's a restaurant that sells Italian food, right?
Okay.
You with me so far?
Yep. You're at a restaurant and they serve Italian food.
I'm
Oh.
smelling what they're cooking. I'm with you.
All right. So you order, let's just say, for example, you order spaghetti and meatballs. Okay.
Spaghetti.
Huh?
Are you sure you're Italian? Did you say spaghettis?
No, I did. I might have.
Carry on, kind sir.
But no, and so you sit down, you have a plate of spaghetti and meatballs.
Can you use your Italian accent just for effect?
Just for effect.
Yeah, get in touch with your ancestors for this one if it's going to be about Italian food.
I'm not even sure if I know how to do that. Spaghetti and meatballs. Um, so you sit down. You're about to have your favorite plate of Italian food, whether it's spaghetti, meatballs, or pizza, or linguine, or whatever the case may be. And you ask for the Parmesan cheese, right? You're asking for the Parmesan cheese. Now,
The Parmesan. Okay. Now,
yeah,
usually at an Italian restaurant, the Parmesan cheese, they have a person that grates it for you if you're at
Yeah,
a upscale restaurant. Is this
absolutely.
what you're
That should be
expecting?
hand grated, I would think.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Exactly right. Now, when you're asking for Parmesan cheese, you're expecting it, like you said, to be grated Parmesan cheese, correct?
Right. I mean, unless I'm like at Papa John's and I know I'm going to get one of those packets with that funky little fake cheese in it. But keep going.
Okay, but it's grinded down. It's not. It's
Right. It's yes. I know what you
grated,
mean. Yes. It's grated like pepper. Comes through a
right,
shake. Yeah, like a grinder. Yep.
and that's what you're expecting.
Absolutely.
Well, what if I told you that I've been into some restaurants here lately, Italian restaurants, and I asked for Parmesan cheese, and what I got was a handful of sliced freaking shredded cheese that almost looked like it was the texture of mozzarella cheese, but I mean, it was still Parmesan cheese, but it was like the texture of like mozzarella cheese, and they put it on the thing, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And they're like,
Wow. Yeah. I've never seen nothing like that. That would definitely.
And there was a handful, like they had it in their hand.
You mean like shredded cheese, like you would buy in a bag at the store, like a shredded type cheese, is how
Well,
it was.
it was shred. It wasn't the consistency. It was a little thicker, like thick, like almost like how do I explain it? It's kind of like confetti paper. That consistent.
More like a fettuccine noodle type consistency.
Yeah, that kind.
All
Wow.
right,
Yeah, that would
that's
not be
weird.
what I expected.
No,
Hmm.
so I assume you commented on what's going on with the cheese.
Right. I mean, you're sitting there and you're expecting there to be your plain average, grated cheese like everyone else would be. And I get this handful of um, weird ass cheese that I'm not even familiar with. And I'm like, excuse me, I want Parmesan cheese. And they're like, well, it is Parmesan cheese. And it's like, no, you don't seem to understand where I'm getting at. I want Parmesan cheese like it's grated. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, sir, but we don't have that here. And I'm like, an Italian restaurant and you don't have grated Parmesan cheese? I mean, come on. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember us sitting around. It would usually be on Sundays. My grandma would fix spaghetti and meatballs or some kind of pasta dish or another. And we'd pass around the grated cheese thing and have a big old block of Parmesan cheese and we'd pass it around and grate our cheese over our plate. I remember that being a kid, even. And it's like, anyway, that's one of the things that really grinds my gears.
Well, I can see how it would. I want to tell you that back 80,000 light years from here on Sagittarius Earth, they had grated Parmesan cheese in Italian restaurants. I don't know what's going on with this Orion place though.
Yeah, the whole part of the grated cheese is it curls up instantly and starts melting as soon as it hits the hot pasta.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a man. I agree. That would grind my gears. I'd be like, "What did you do?"
It's like,
That
Stonebender
would
says
grind my cheese grinding gears.
absolutely. Stonebender. Hey, Stonebender. Sound like I went south for a minute there. Sorry, I'm back. Stonebender says it's fresh Hebrew. Well, yeah, but that's what he means. Usually it would come like in a block and you could just grind it or grate it right on the is usually how they would. It is fresh, but I never seen it sliced like that. That's weird.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Euler Greg said in chat, yeah, LOL, soon nobody will remember grated cheese. And Alone One in the 80s, he worked part-time at the spaghetti factory downtown Nashville, and we would get a block of Parmesan cheese and grate it over the food. And I heard that that Donald Trump was going to try to get cheese back in the Italian restaurants to make America have to grate cheese again.
Make America great again. I love it. Wonderful. That's why we miss you, brother.
Oh man. Make America great again. make our cheese grated. I can't even talk right now, dude. Oh man, hold on a second, guys. I got to mute up.
All right.
See what you did to the host?
Yeah, I know. My bad. I'm sorry.
You're hard on it. That was good. Make America great again.
Okay, I'm back.
You could have him holding a little grater and a hunk of cheese, standing over a bowl of spaghetti.
This is a really great. This is a really great grater. It's one of the best graters out there.
There isn't a greater to be had.
Get yourself together there, Captain. We got a show to do.
Look it
Oh,
up, son. Get professional.
oh man,
People are watching.
you guys crack me up, man.
People are watching.
Uh,
He cracks me up. That'd be a riot.
I can't even take a drink of my tea right now. I'm afraid I might spit it out all over my computer, and that would really I can't even talk right now. Would really cause problems.
Yeah, and probably really grind your gears, my wife said.
Yeah, it really would. uh, where was I? Hey, no, wait a minute now. I got one more gear to grind, then we'll get on to something else.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay,
Grind
now
away, brother. Grind away.
the next one really is a traffic complaint that I have. It's not so much a traffic complaint as it is a pedestrian complaint. I've noticed here a lot lately, more than ever, people are crossing the street and they're looking down at their cell phones as they're crossing the street and they're not even paying attention. And what makes it really bad is when you're driving around, let's say Walmart, for example, and you're looking for a parking spot, and then you finally try to get that parking spot, but there's always just that one guy who's walking around directly in between the lines of the parking spot, not even looking up because he's looking down on his phone, texting or looking at a who knows what, and then he's right there and he's moving slower than a turtle on top of a snail that's on top of a what's another thing that's really slow?
A
Um,
Wait,
sloth.
I think the snail should be on top of the turtle, or that snail is going to get hurt. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We could put the snail on the turtle, and the turtle's being carried by a sloth.
oh, there you go. That's really slow, and it's like I would like to get in that parking space sometime today. I mean, I do have my patience, but I'm not a doctor,
Yes,
so
you ain't got that many patients, right?
right.
Your patience has a limit, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but I don't know what is the deal with people walking down the street totally oblivious. And I know we've talked about this before, but totally oblivious to the world around them, just walking
I'm,
parking lots. I mean, they're going to end up either getting hit or getting someone. I don't know. It just. What do you guys think about this?
well, I mean, it's what's really a big deal is this people staring at their phones, walking around in city streets. People are falling in manholes or getting hit by cars or at crosswalks. I mean, it's really like the casualty rate is higher than you would think it would be. I mean, not everybody is dying, but they're getting bumps and bruises and concussions and broken arms and smashed toes. And I mean, it really is a real thing. It really is happening. And I know when I'm driving, I see all the time people in the car next to me texting and driving. And I'm not going to say I never look at my phone when I'm driving, but I don't sit there driving down the road at 40 miles per hour trying to type a text message. That never happens. I wouldn't. I would be all over the place. It would be physically impossible for me to do it even if I wanted to. And I know some people have better ambidextrous multitasking skills than others, but it's really not a good idea to be staring at your phone when there's live action moving vehicles going on around you.
No, no. I'll tell you a funny story, real quick. Me and my wife, we were scouring for a parking place, and as we're looking for a parking place, we noticed this one guy kept backing in and backing out of space, and we thought, oh well, he's just trying to straighten out or whatever, and he ended up leaving. So we ended up parking in that space, and the guy uh, parked further down or whatever. But he started walking into Walmart, and I'm pretty sure it was the same guy. He turns to us and says, "Hey, I hope you guys have a handicap sticker or something because that's a handicap space." And me and my wife just looked at him like he had a third eye and went, "No, it isn't." It's like the handicap space was one space over, and the space we were at had no signs or markings there whatsoever indicating anything in the cap handicap space. And it was like he that's exactly what happened is he thought it was a handicap space, and that's why he didn't park there. And It absolutely was not. And besides that fact, we do absolutely have one of those hangy things that hangs on there that is handicapped, but we're not going to park in the handicap space anyway if we don't really need to. And so the guy just kept arguing as he was walking and kept arguing. I said, just let him walk on. It's like let she's like, well, go ahead and just put that up there just in case. I'm like, what? It's not a handicap space. And she agreed with me that it wasn't a handicap space, but we went ahead and hung it up there just because. So I went ahead and
Well, I wanted to, you were talking about how he made a point to come back and say something to you, and
yeah.
you told him no. And then we were talking about road rage earlier. I felt compelled to, all of a sudden, like you were talking just now, I felt compelled to share this. I don't know who needs to hear this message, but somebody out there needs to hear it because I've been compelled to say it. So if you're out driving anytime, be it tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year, 20 years from now, whoever you are that needs to hear this, and you have a guy that's got road rage, he cuts you off or whatever, and he's flipping you the bird, and he's angry at you. You're going to be tempted to flip him off back, or to tell him off, or to somehow fuel the situation. But my message is don't do it. Just ignore the situation, move on, carry on about your day. Whatever his problem is, let it remain his problem that he's so upset, because people are crazy. You think you're going to pull over and have an argument with words, but people are pulling out guns and or knives or bats or whatever, and they're resorting to violence just over being cut off, or not taking your right turn at the stop sign, or not signaling, whatever their reason is for being so upset. Just whatever it is, just move, carry on about your day. For some reason, I was compelled to share that with you
Oh,
guys. I don't know why, but I felt like I had to say it.
well, here's the thing: is two things that I do is I kind of put in my head like, what would Jesus do in that situation is one of the things, and the other thing is you see a guy and he's driving like crazy and flipping you off and whatever, those guys, you're never going to see them again. They're going to speed off someplace and turn where you're not turning, and chances are you're never going to cross paths with that bozo ever again. And it's a waste of breath and it's a waste of energy is how I see it nowadays.
Well, you just don't know how something can escalate beyond what you expected it to as well. Because I mean, you might have a certain expectation of what is a sane reaction to this situation, but that doesn't mean that in their reality, they're they're going to react in that kind of with
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of way. So, and a lot of times when people are like that, there's something more deeper going on. Like
Oh
they're
sure.
going through they're going through something, be it a financial hardship or a relationship issue, or something. They're under an undue amount of stress, and this is a boiling point for them. So it's best just to let them figure it out for themselves and not be part of the situation.
I had a guy one time, he cut me off. This was a couple of years ago. This is before I started getting back into all this stuff that I'm into now, and knowing that these little things you just don't let them get to you. But back then, still had quite a bit of road rage going on within me, but was kind of calming down, not letting things happen. So anyway, he cuts me off, and I honked at him just to let him know my dismay at him, and also let him know that he could have very easily.
Dismay? Did you say? Did you say to let him know your dismay?
Yeah, yeah. What? Wait. What's wrong with
That
that?
was just cute the way you said
Nothing.
it. But
That's
keep
just
going.
funny. That's a good way to phrase it. I commend you. Carry on.
Okay.
Made me giggle as I show him my dismay.
Just, you know, and also let him know, hey, you could have easily caused a wreck. I had my family with me and everything, and it was just like, not only was it rude, but it was very reckless driving on his part, you know. And when I did that, we were going to Toys R Us. I was taking the daughter to Toys R Us. She had got all A's that week or whatever it was, and said, "All right, I'm going to take you to Toys R Us." And so we pull in into the parking lot, and this bozo, this clown, he pulls into the parking lot. I didn't really think much about it, and he pulls very slowly, drives in front of me, and I see him roll down his window, and he didn't roll it down to flip me off. He rolls it down. Then his hand sticks out the window, and he's doing the gesture like, "Come on, follow me. Follow me around this corner." I'm like, "I don't think so, buddy." That was about the time the gun laws passed, and I was in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, "Yeah, right. I'll follow him around that corner. He's going to end up shooting me or some shit like that." So I let him drive around the corner by himself, and took my wife and daughter inside Toys R Us, and thankfully there was no incidents that happened after that, and they just come to pass, and that was the end of it. But you never know with these clowns, these jokers, these bozos. You never know what they're going to do nowadays. You know, used to be you have a little bit of road rage, and the two of you would stop your vehicles and get out and slug it out, and that would be the end of it. But now, goodness gracious, everyone carries guns. You know, you don't know what some crazy clown, fool, joker, bozo, what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, the closest thing I can relate to that is, well, I used to drive home from work late at night. It's like around midnight. When I lived in Indiana, I had to go up this steep, windy road. No lines painted on it. You know, it was just a country road, but it was up a steep hill, probably a good 5 mile stretch up this windy hill, and trees, dark, fog, you name it. It was a treacherous little stretch of road, and I don't have the best vision in the world even back then, and so I would often just take my time. I knew the road like the back of my hand because I drove it all the time, but I still would proceed with some caution and drive at a reasonable rate of speed. But
Mhm.
people love to fly up and down that hill, and I would get a car behind me who would he would turn on his brights and get right in my rear view mirror and
Mhm.
get right on my butt and trying to get me to go faster, because I wasn't going fast enough for him, And so I wouldn't do it. I absolutely refused to drive faster for the guy behind me. As soon as I got to a place where I could pull over or slow down and let them pass, I would turn on my hazard lights, pull over,
Oh
and
yeah.
90% of the time they would just pass me, and then start flying up the hill. And but every so often I'd get a butthole who wouldn't pass me. Like
Hmm.
I had done made him mad because I took a minute to get to to let him pass. So he decides he's going to stay and follow me all the way up the hill with his brights on, right on my bumper. So I literally would just proceed to get down to a crawl, like down to like 15, 20 miles per hour, just to get them off me, or just pull over and turn off the car and see if they're willing to stop. I literally would go through this. This was like I don't know. It didn't happen all the time, but every so often you'd get that guy. And I don't know why it was like that. I never could figure out why people would behave such a way.
Well, you know what really tickles my giggle box is when somebody gets behind you and then they speed up to go around you, and when they go around you, you meet them about 100 yards ahead of the stoplight, and they're stopped at the stoplight same time as you are.
Yeah, I know. They're racing to the red light. Yeah, that's always funny when that happens.
Yeah. Well, so hey, listen, Armor, you got the phone lines ready, brother?
I believe so. Let me look and make sure they are still on. Yep, looks like they're on. Hopefully they'll work.
Yeah,
Uh,
I heard we had some good calls on Taco Tuesday. People who
What's
hadn't called in
Taco Tuesday?
before.
That's a
Hebrew was telling
Tuesday
me
I
about it.
went in.
I
I
think
know
it
a
was.
one give us a call in, and that was awesome. I think that was Taco Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever it was.
Oh,
It
that's
was one
right.
of them days we did it. call in. And then we did
I'm
a
going to
third.
get back just to listen to the calls for real.
Oh, it was awesome. They were both good calls. But yeah, Lone One was
So
really.
somebody please call in so we don't just have to keep talking to each other. We'd love to talk to you as well.
So you don't got to listen to us anymore.
No, I tell you, man.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry, dude. What were you saying?
Well, I was just going to say, Stone and Greg was talking about Texas a bit earlier, and Stone said about walking across to Mexico one time, and he said he got followed by a pack of dogs, bought a pack of smokes called boots by a man with no legs. And I was just thinking, if that's a true story, which I'm sure it is, that if that don't show you the father has a sense of humor, I don't know what could. That's sort of funny.
Got called boots by
It
man.
tickled my giggle box. Whatever you said earlier, tickled your giggle box.
Yeah.
That tickled my giggle box.
All right.
Please call someone, please. This is
I'll come up with some more Hebrewisms.
Oh, that was good. Tickled my giggle box.
Yeah, Oiler Greg, he had a good comment in here. He said, when people tailgate me, lose power and put on flashers and just poke along like a car problem, and they zoom around. And then Stonebender says, throw munchkins out of your sunroof for tailgater.
That is one thing. Maybe I shouldn't say. I'll say it anyway. That's one thing that bikers do, at least older bikers. You always carry like a pocket full of bolts and nuts or whatever, and that way, if you get one of those idiots that wants to ride your butt and tailgate you on a motorcycle, you just sort of toss them over your right shoulder. It usually backs them off pretty quick. But I'm not promoting that in any way. That could cause an accident, so don't do that.
No,
But also,
not at all.
Tailgate motorcycles, because
I'll tell you what's funny. I'll tell you a funny story real quick. And my wife did not mean to do this. It was pure accident. We had some drinks in the car, and her ice had melted down to basically where it was nothing. I think it was like a slushy or something like that. And
by drinks, do you mean alcoholic drinks?
Oh no.
Okay.
Man.
Well, you said drinks. I was just asking.
No, that only happens in Texas.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Great. There, we just lost half our audience. Most of them's from Texas. Great.
Well, I mean, if it's true, if the boot fits.
The boot fits.
No, I did hear one time someone told me that was from Texas. I don't know if they were bullshitting me or what. They said it was legal to have an open beer can up in the front seat. I don't know if that's true or not.
I can't imagine that'd be true anymore, but who knows?
Yeah.
But getting back to my story, she had a slushy, and I guess it had been sitting there all day or whatever, and we were driving down the road, and I don't know which way the wind was blowing or whatever, but she throws it, not the whole cup, but I mean, she opened up the lid and threw the liquid out the window, and next thing you know, we heard honking behind us. And then you could see in the rearview mirror, this lady was just raged. Oh my goodness. She was just screaming and cussing. And this, I mean, you couldn't hear her, but you could see her lips just like you could read it and you could tell. And oh my gosh, my wife was just, her face was so red. She couldn't believe.
So what you're saying, she wasn't screaming "Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you," huh?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
She might have been screaming Oscar Mayer bacon. I don't know. I don't think so, but it was just pure accident. I mean, she didn't know that that was going to happen, or that car was even that close to us. And she was just trying to apologize like crazy. But of course, the lady was behind us, and I guess as soon as she got around and past us, she was trying to gesture to her. But that there was no there was no apologizing. That lady was fuming, man. She was just fuming mad, dude. But it wasn't funny at the time, but it is funny now. you know.
Yeah, that is funny. I can see how your wife probably felt terrible when she realized what had happened. But
Oh yeah,
it's one of those things.
right. Just one of those things that happen. So, well, that about does it for our driving part of the show.
We'll have to make a segment driving with.
I didn't talk.
Was that me?
Yeah, you're about
Yeah,
to
you're
talk.
getting like a weird thing going on with your mic.
A weird thing.
Yeah, it's almost like an echo, but it's almost like there's I don't even know how to explain it.
That's strange. I didn't change anything.
It's back to normal now. You're fine.
Alrighty then.
So the phone lines aren't lighting up, huh?
No. No one's feeling brave this evening.
Well, Saji, do you have a story? Oh, you know what you do have? We were talking about legs getting up and walking away with stuff. You do have some technology stuff you'd like to share with us, don't you? Those robots?
We lost Saji now.
Oh.
He shifted. Where'd he go?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I was talking. Y'all just couldn't hear me. But yeah, I do have those Boston Dynamics robot videos. If you want to share them, I think they're kind of interesting with the technology that they're coming out with, and like I think Armor. I was talking to Armor about it before. I mean, even if you think about it, the ones that they're even showing you are probably just like half of what they're really capable of doing. But play the first one first, because that's like the 4 years ago technology, and then play the last one second, because that's the one where they're trying to kick it.
Also, Saji, while he's playing those, I didn't get to tell you this when we was talking earlier. I forgot to just now, but if you want, well, I don't know if you can. You're on your phone, but there's one out there with that robot doing gymnastics.
Oh, really?
Oh, they've come way further than even what they're about to see. I'll see if I can find it now. I'll get it ready.
Yeah, they got. If you go on their website, they got different ones. They got the guy that stands up and walks, and then they got the one we're going to be watching is mostly Spot. It's a mobile robot designed for sensing, inspection, and remote operation. And then they also have another one they call it Handle, and it's a mobile manipulation robot for moving boxes in warehouse situations. And then they also have one called Pick, and Pick is a vision processing solution that uses deep learning to enable building and depalletizing of mixed SKU pallets. Basically, it can sort through things
Okay. Cool. Well, this
at
is.
very very rapidly. It's kind of weird.
Do I need to do anything? Speed it up
No,
or slow
no,
it?
just let it play.
All right.
Is it ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All
I
right.
was gonna tell you a little background on Boston Dynamics, but Go ahead and play the video.
We'll play the first one.
All right.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Huh. Hmm. Oh.
Do you feel bad for the robot when he kicks it? I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
curious.
that's kind of mean.
Well, the robot doesn't have feelings. The reason they're kicking it is to show that it don't fall down. To show that it has built-in technology to be able to stand up, even if it runs into altercations.
Oh, I see. One of these days, that robot's going to get up and kick that guy's ass. Just saying.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, how much? How much it has to? The responses it has to do to be able to keep its balance. If some guy reaches over and kicks it, I mean, it'd be hard for you not to fall down. But all your muscles in your body, all the different ones that have to constrict real fast and react like in milliseconds to keep you from falling.
Oh, yeah. Now it's got a mate.
Yeah, they're rolling in pairs.
Hmm.
Now, imagine you wake up one day and there's 17 of those walking down your street that are
Okay.
armed with lasers
Yeah.
and smoke bombs. How are you going to defend yourself against that?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It's kind of scary when you think about it. This is almost like how Terminator started.
Right? Well, go ahead and play the last one I sent you now.
All right. Well, there's that one. Huh. That's kind of cool. Let me go ahead and stop sharing for a second here. Where's the button? How do I do that?
But Boston Dynamics is a world leader in mobile robots, tackling some of the toughest robotic challenges. They combine the principles of dynamic control and balance with sophisticated mechanical designs, cutting edge electronics, and next generation software for high performance robots equipped with perception, navigation, and intelligence. Boston Dynamics has an extraordinary and fast growing technical team of engineers and scientists who seamlessly combine advanced analytical thinking with bold engineering.
I'm going to mute that.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know if the music is copyrighted or not, so I'll mute it.
Yeah, you can mute it.
But let me go ahead and screen share the last
This
one.
This last one is an example of him repetitively trying to knock it down, showing how it's able to stand up.
All right.
Is this the one with the banana peels in it?
It might be. I'm not sure.
So yeah, keep in mind, people, nothing beats the banana peel. I hope this is the one with the banana peels in it.
Let's see here. All right. All right. Oh. Oh man.
Well, this is the early one. Yeah, this was like a long, long time ago.
Yeah, this is when they're first coming out with it.
Oh. What happened there? Little slow-mo kick there. Looks like it keeps a kicking and keeps on ticking.
Yeah, he's struggling. I think he's on ice there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And see, each time it gets pushed, it actually it memorizes it improves its responses because it remembers what it had to do last time. You know what I mean? That's already built in from the. There's the banana peel.
That's how you defeat them, people. Eat your bananas. All I'm saying. And make sure you take note of the lovely black and white checkerboard carpet in Boston Dynamics office. Don't let
Oh
that
yeah, I noticed that as well.
checkerboard. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh man. Yeah, when the machines do try to take over, we just got to stock ourselves up in bananas. That's all.
All right, and then the only other one you really need to play is the most recent one I just sent you. I mean, the
Oh,
one before this.
so, well, I'd like to see him.
Yeah, you can finish this one if you want. But
Yeah,
I'm saying the one before this would be the only other one you need to play.
I don't think I'd want to play one of these guys hockey. I don't know.
But I mean, imagine what the
Oh,
stuff they're not showing us looks like. You know?
no robots were harmed in the making of this video. Let's hold on. Did I stop screen sharing, guys?
Yep.
All right. The which one is it?
The one before that one. That's the most recent one.
The one in the rain?
I have to go. I can't see Hangouts, but the one I sent you right before the one you just played, the second to last one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one in the rain, brother. I
Oh,
see Hangouts.
okay. We'll get that one up. Do 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 do. Oh, see, I got no problem with ads, so I can go
Well,
ahead
that's
and play.
cool.
Oh yeah. Good old Armor gave me a tip how to stop your ads
Oh wow.
playing.
Yeah, I
So
don't watch ads ever.
screen share, screen share, screen share, screen share. And I think we could play the sound on this one. Is there music?
Yeah. No, you can play it.
All right. Well, there is music in it though.
Yeah, but it's not. You'll be okay.
All right.
It kind of sounds like Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, a little bit.
Then see how they're trying to show you all. Look, one opens the door for the other one. Now tell me
Oh,
that's not kind of weird.
that's
I thought, and my wife also said immediately when you look at this one with the little hand on it, at certain angles, watch when they show it again. If I don't put you in the mind of a scorpion.
no. I tell you, is that too loud? That seems too loud.
You can turn it down a little, yeah.
Bring it my
And
slower.
I mean, and they're showing you all these practical uses, but I mean, I just can't. I just keep thinking of like how scary it would be to see a 30 or 40 of these running amok through a downtown environment. You know?
It's just a scary thought that they've invented these things and now they're gonna soon take the place of humans, take place of our jobs and stuff. You know.
Yeah. I mean, all the above. It's a whole new world, that's for sure.
Yeah, now I got the one. If you want to see the one doing the gymnastics, let me share it
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
Let me go ahead and get on out of here. I can't say my spaghetti's right. Hey, I said spaghetti right that time.
Hey, good job.
Spaghetti.
Let me know when you're ready. Spaghetti.
All right. I don't think you're ready for this spaghetti. Um, I don't know. Uh, here we go. Is there any way I can make that bigger?
I don't know.
Oh. Hmm. Doing some tumbling, jumping jacks, and tumbling. Then you get one of those robots and name him. What was the name of the Johnny Five? No, anybody?
Johnny
Johnny
Five is
Five.
alive.
Yeah,
Number 5 is alive.
yeah. I like the Short Circuit movie. I'm not too fond of the second one, but I do like that first one though.
Yeah, just imagine that thing coming at you armed.
Oh, heck no. I don't want to. I don't want to live in the future where that happens. Wait a minute. What's the lone one saying?
He says some feel that we're the 144,000, and some say we're the remnant. What exactly is the remnant? Good question.
Hmm.
Maybe it's the ones that aren't 144,000. I don't know. I don't really worry about that too much, so I'm not sure. But possibly the remnants, the ones he comes back for, I believe. The ones that are here at the second coming or something, I believe is what they think. But what
Yeah, I
that
want
has
you to. Since we're sharing technological advances, I thought I would share this video too. This video is going to blow your guys' mind. It's the future of automobiles.
Send it to Armor.
It's in Shifty Sunday.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll grab it.
All right. Thank you. I'm not as quick with the screen sharing. I'm not as quick with anything. Kind of think of it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this. I mean, it's essentially a commercial for this car, but it blew my mind when I saw what they have now.
Oh, there it is. I guess I better. Speaking of not being as quick, I better put that in there, shouldn't I? All right. We'll see what this is.
I'll turn the music off just in case.
All right.
But you might want to hear what he has to say.
That's true.
Packed with a lot of firsts, not the least of which it's the first car to actually wear Audi on its tail. The fact the iTrail was the first to wear
Huh?
And I can't hear it.
not was the focus and purpose-built ability of the rest of the concept. The
There it
iTrail
is.
actually 335 millimeters shorter than the Q3. However, as the 4 electric motors have been pushed to the corners, it maximizes the wheelbase and brings some serious on and off-road ability. Power comes from a lithium-ion battery with each of the electric motors sitting beside the wheel it drives. The combination produces 430 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. The instant-on electric power means this thing should run to 100k in about 3 seconds. Thankfully, the large carbon
Note the 2 drones on the roof.
just as quickly.
Yeah.
The layout not only delivers all-wheel drive, it has real-time torque vectoring. The setup dispenses with the need for diff lockers and the like when off-road. Throw in the 4-wheel steering, and getting around an immovable object should be a snap. Now, the cabin of this iTrail is radically different. To begin with, the sight lines are wonderful. There are no blind spots. Secondly, there's no conventional dash. Rather, you park a smartphone right there, and it looks after everything from speed and navigation to infotainment functions. It is radically different, but it works. The coilover springs with adaptive dampers allow the suspension to be lifted by 60 millimeters. In the end, the iTrail has 340 millimeters of ground clearance, which means it can ford 500 millimeters of water without shorting out the battery. One
Wow.
of the fashionable features is found in the headlights and cameras. The headlights are found in 5 triangular drones that dock to the roof rack. The funky part is that when needed, the drones lift off and fly ahead of the iTrail to illuminate the road ahead using matrix LED lighting. In an off-road situation,
Look, the drones fly in front of you.
Matrix.
so nothing comes as a surprise. The future really does look
Well-
rosy. This iTrail, 4-wheel steering, 4 electric motors, 400 kilometers of electric-only driving range, and it comes with a room with a wonderful view. I'm Graham Fletcher for driving.ca.
Isn't that crazy?
That I'll tell you what, man. First of all, the vehicle looks like something out of Mad Max,
Yeah.
and the drones flying over there kind of looks like you're chasing down UFOs or something.
I know, right? I mean, talk about somebody driving behind you with their brights on.
I don't know. I don't know about all that technology, man. That just seems like it's too much technology for us to handle.
Yeah, Lone One says it's like the chariot out of the old Lost in Space series. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Does look a lot like that.
If they start mass producing those, it seems like our Mad Max future just might be right around the corner. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's definitely different. When I saw the drones flying, that's when it really my jaw kind of dropped. I couldn't believe that.
So the car itself controls the drones as you're driving, or do you have to somehow?
No, it's all integrated through that smartphone on the dash.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's they're on autopilot. You could give them basic commands, like basically say, and then they fly ahead of you and alert you of an obstacle, like if a tree was down or if there's somebody in the road, or a person has any type of hazard you might come across. They'll will alert you ahead of time before you literally know what's around the next bend before you get to the next bend.
Oh wow. I like Mad Max's comment. Mad Max. Yeah. Definitely, and I'll tell you what, you put that technology along with the other robots you showed us earlier, and it the future's coming, brother. I mean, it's like Terminator all over again, man. It's like Terminator come to life. That's the weird part. It's like, who was it that was telling me the name of the company that has the artificial intelligence and the the one where they're going to integrate body parts pretty soon with machines? Didn't they purposely call that the
Skynet.
Skynet? Yeah.
Yeah, it really does exist. I'm not sure if they're just using the name as a I don't know. I think that they're just really just throwing it in our faces, like because there's not really anything you can do about it. It's coming with or without your approval.
Oh yeah. Skynet's going online, whether we want it or not.
Well, that's really all I had. I mean, still no phone calls there, Armor?
Noper.
Huh. I would think at least Robin Neely or like Stonebender or maybe Dave East even would call in, but I guess they're not going to. Oh well.
Well, do you want to? Usually about this time, Armor, you give us some indication of what your Wednesday word is going to be this week. I'm
Yeah,
sure you've.
Do we have a
Do we get a sneak peek?
Well, honestly, I'm still up in the air. I got two. I think It's probably going to be, what is the old man? We're going to be looking through Ephesians 4 to 22, amongst other stuff, but I'm probably going to go with that one.
I like
So, what is the old man? It's not a self retrospective, huh?
No, very funny. Well, yes, actually, in a way it is, and in a way it isn't. It's a self retrospective for everyone.
Understood.
Talking about that old man that has to die, that I've talked about before. Yeah, figuring out who he is.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one it's going to be. It's, I believe, let me look at his name. I think it's Tim Conway. Yeah, Tim Conway. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
The guy's name's Tim Conway.
Yep.
Okay.
I forget what church he's from, but yeah, there'll be links, of course, for. But yep.
Now we go looking up Tim Conway. We're going to get a bunch of Tim.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Sorry, brother. I just wanted to say thank you to Dave. It's good to see Dave. Dave's awesome. Good to see him in chat.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was
going to say, can we give him another shout out?
Wait a second. I just before you say that, let me just say that Stonebender, I like Stonebender's comment. It goes, nice guilt trip, bro. Because I was talking about, well, I thought somebody was gonna call in. I thought maybe, Dave East or Stonebender, or maybe Robin Neely, or Euler Greg, or maybe a lone one, but I guess not. So oh well. No skin
That's
off.
okay.
No.
We're happy that they're there in the chat and they're here to listen to us. So everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, but you're always welcome to call in if you want to.
Yeah, no, I just like saying that. You notice I named off pretty much everybody that's in the room.
So that was the subtle shout out.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah, there you go. No. You think I'm gonna let run off the hook that easy? You're crazy.
Oh, great. Well, if you want a shout out, then speak up. We got a lone one, Dave East, Euler Greg with a wrench, Robin Keneally with a wrench, Stone Bender. Who else do we have there? I just seen someone else in chat. They popped out. Where'd it go? Oh, Mad Max, of course. That's who I was thinking of. Warlord Pliskin was also in here earlier. Glad they stopped by. Hopefully they're still here. Don't know. Warlord Pliskin. Scrolling. I know I'm missing someone. Oh, Eddie Von Keen, of course. He was here first with a wrench. Oh, Red Shirt Blues. That's who else was here. Dark Wolf Stem was here earlier. Zombie Cat Club Cub still lurking. Always good to see my favorite lurker, Zombie. I think I got everybody, hopefully. And don't forget, before we go off the air, not that we are anytime soon, I'm sure, but but either way, don't forget about our assignment for next week. Chat room. So
oh yeah.
From our little boy video. 3 simple affirmations, like he was saying. I am I'm smart. I am blessed. I can do anything. Quick little one-liner. 3 things to remind yourself every week. And then if you feel like it, you can share them next week, and we'll all share them. And like Saji said, pass them around, help each other. It's pretty cool. I like that idea. So don't forget.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
I just said I was done. You can't say talk amongst yourself when someone says.
I know, right? When we're passing the baton to you, that's when you decide to go away. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Putting us on the spot.
Yeah, at least you ain't got to talk to yourself like the one video. That was hilarious.
I
You
know,
talk
right?
literally amongst yourself. That was good.
Well, I mean, that was the directions I was just following, though.
It's all you could do. At least you had someone intelligent to talk with.
Or semi-intelligent, or of equal intelligence.
There you go. That would be the proper politically correct term, probably.
Well, I lost my story. I had a story I was going to share. Let me see if I can go into my history
Yeah, we need
and
our
find it.
story time with Sedge. We've been slacking on that lately. I mean, I've
I think
noticed.
I just found it.
All right. I need a story time picture. Do I have one? I think I might. Let me look.
All right, this one's kind of along the same lines as the one you shared, but slightly different. It's called a transcontinental row, and it's a former Royal Marine with only one leg, smashed for the record for the fastest unsupported solo row across the Atlantic Ocean. And by row, I mean he literally is rowing a boat across the Atlantic Ocean, while also raising tens of thousands of dollars for veterans charities. His name is Lee Spencer. He lost his limb in an accident, but was adamant about proving that no one should be defined by disability. The 49-year-old father of two from Harrowbridge, Devon, made the 6,115-kilometer or 3,800-mile journey from mainland Europe to South America in just 60 days. Not only made him not only made him the first disabled person to row from continent to continent, but he also beat the able-bodied record for the route by 36 days. Now, I'm sure some of that probably had to do with, fair weather and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But during the journey, Spencer slept only 2 hours per day. He also had to contend with waves over 12 meters or 40 feet high and a bout of gastroenteritis, whatever that is. It sounds like a stomach problem. He set off from Portugal and arrived in Cayenne, French Guinea, on Monday. His trip actually had a slight detour as Spencer had to stop in the Canary Islands to fix his navigation system. Back in 2016, Spencer and three other former servicemen became the first team of amputees to cross the Atlantic. This time, his record journey also helped raise over $72,000 for charities near and dear to Spencer's heart, such as the Royal Marines Charity and the Endeavor Fund. But I thought that was just a good example of somebody not letting, not being convinced that, not letting the world convince him that he couldn't do it. Because if that guy at 49 years old with only one leg can row across the Atlantic, then, we should be able to get up and handle whatever obstacles we have to face tomorrow morning, right?
What was he in? A rowboat, a canoe? What you say he was in?
It doesn't say the exact vehicle that he was in. It just says that he did a solo row across the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow, that's incredible. That's just wow. That's
With one leg. Yeah. I mean, granted, you need two arms to row, but
well, still either way, yeah. Just the
yeah.
fact that anyone could row across the Atlantic
Yeah.
Ocean is blowing my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, and he did it in 60 days.
And then to do it in 60 days. Wow. That's amazing.
But his name was Lee Spencer, if you guys want to Google it and look it up or fact check it or whatever, get more information about it.
Well, that totally blows my story out of the water.
Ah, get it.
I didn't even I didn't even mean it like a joke, but that ah, I kill me.
Well, share your story anyway. I'm sure it's good.
Nah, it ain't much of nothing. It had something to do with um well, I even forgot what it had to do with. I
All
went,
right.
got up, came back, and by the time I came back I forgot about it.
All right.
Well, walk back out where you just went. Maybe you dropped it out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was another one of those tells that happened between me and my wife, but dang it, if I can't even think about it right now, it's like one of those things where you have it in your head, you're going to tell it, and then all of a sudden it just disappears. I had it in my mind when I went up to go to the bathroom, and then I came back and it's like gone.
All right. Well, then I will get rid of the story time screen.
Oh
That's all
man,
the stories for this evening.
dang it. But you were talking about um the one uh yeah, so I forgot about it. Anyway, man, it's just what? It's just it's you come over to this channel. This channel is almost totally stress free. You come over here, you get good news by Armor, and then you get nice little stories like that by Saji, and then you hear, you know, me mispronunciating spaghetti. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was a mispronunciation of a word. We were talking about something, and it was for some reason. There it is again. Okay, I'll put it up there.
I
Uh,
got you, brother.
and for some reason, the word mediocre came up. Mediocre, mediocre. That's what
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
Yeah, mediocre.
mediocre. That's what made it so funny is I mispronunciated the word, and she's like, "Meat? You're saying meat okra, meat okra?" I'm like, "No, I said mediocre." She's like, "No, you did not. You said mediocre." She goes, "What is that?" It's like when you take like you have a good piece of meat and you put it with some okra, like mediocre, and I'm just like, "Hey, now that would be a good one to tell on Shifty Sunday. We'll bring up the mediocre topic, you know."
Right. Well, that reminds me of something else I was going to say as well. But mediocre. It that's a weird word. It just in general. I don't really know much about it, but it is a weird word, and I can see how you, someone could struggle with that.
Yeah, and so I thought, why don't I come up with a recipe that's mediocre?
Not okra, ochre.
I know. I'm saying it that way on purpose.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
Yes,
you're
you
going to
can't.
use? Are you going to use okra in the recipe?
Yeah.
Would have to be mediocre.
Yeah. So you're going to? What kind of meat are you going to use in it?
I don't know, but I was thinking about like, how you make meatballs, you take like the meat and you crack some raw egg in it, and then you take your breadcrumbs and you put that in there and you mix it in there with garlic and onion and pepper and all that good stuff. And that's what we make our meatballs with, man. We make these huge freaking meatballs about the size of your hands. I mean, they are freaking awesome.
That's
Now
a
I
good
got a
one.
question for you. When you get done with your mediocre meatball, are you going to use what kind of Parmesan cheese are you going to use?
Oh, I'm gonna use the I'm going to use the grinded kind, grinded stuff.
Okay.
Graded. I'm gonna the graded. I'm
The grind your gears kind.
yeah. Hey, what happened there? What did you do there? You did something there. What happened?
I don't know. I moved.
No, not you, Mr. Armor. There, he keeps jumping in and out.
What'd I do? I didn't go nowhere.
Oh, okay. No, it's just
I don't think I
So
went nowhere.
I got something that's sort of Mandela related, maybe. I don't know, but the letter Z, a couple words that I think should have the letter Z, and they don't have the letter Z, or do they, or should they? That's the question.
mm. Z or not
Right in.
Z.
All right.
The
Let
first word is Brazil.
Oh, I know where I stand on this one. We'll let the chat answer, but yes.
This chat, does Brazil have a Z? Is there a Z in Brazil or no Z in Brazil?
Mm.
How would you spell Brazil there, Mr. Hebrew, sir?
Well, Mr. Sagittarically speaking, sir, um, I would spell it Brazil. Brizil. No, wait. BRA, BRAIL. Wait. Where's the Zil come in? Okay. B BAR ZILA, Brazil.
Man, you put a lot of different letters in there. That's for sure. You made like a. You made
He
like
said
a.
Brazil, not Godzilla.
it was. It was like a pasta primavera.
I don't. I
All right. So what are we getting from chat there? Let's
well.
see.
Oh, I'm too busy laughing to read. We got from Oiler Greg. He was spelling Brazilla like Godzilla. Oiler Greg with a Z. Dave East, Brazil, which is the way I spell it. Red Shirt Blues with a Z. Robin Keneally, same as Red Shirt, or I mean Dave East, Brazil, and also the way I spell it. Man Max with a Z. So unanimous Z's.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm a Z as well. However, it has recently came to my attention that the word is spelled with an S.
What?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about that a while back on Dan's channel, but yeah, that's a flippy one for me. Yeah, there's no
But
doubt it was a Z, but yeah, it's an S now. Brazil's with an S. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then there's another good one. Uh, Z or no Z? That is the question. That's what I'm calling this segment.
there you go.
Uh,
My knee hurts.
realize. You know, when you realize that the word doesn't have a Z in it, how would you spell realize?
Don't ask Hebrew to spell it. He'll spell it all messed up.
Well, just would you include this? Would you use a Z? That's all I really need to know.
Hey, bro, you crack me up, brother. Yeah, we'll wait on the chat here. Now we'll ask Hebrew to spell Realzilla. I love you, brother. You know that.
I know, man.
But you were spelling Brazilla. 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 That's like a cross.
Yeah, it was like the Snoop Dogg version, you know.
Right. Hey, that's what it is. Hey, you know what? I did that on purpose, guys.
Yeah.
You
For
know that.
Shiza, my Nizza, from Brazilla, my Shiza.
Brazilla, my shiza. Dave East also says Tasmanian. Yeah, that's another biggie with the Z instead of the S. Or the S instead of the Z now.
Yeah, I
Y'all know.
brought that up the other day because even the cartoon character don't have the Z anymore.
Robin Keneally says Brozilla, Brozilla. I think you should change your name to that. Brozilla. Welcome to
Yep.
Brozilla.
Hebrozilla.
Hebrozilla. Hebrozilla. Oh no. Here comes Hebrozilla. Oh, dude, we could do a song.
Oh man.
Get Lorraine to sing it because she sings way better than me. Brozilla.
Okay.
Let's see.
Come on.
Are we getting any spelling? We're not getting anything on the realize.
Chat's lost on the Brozilla. They forgot all about realize.
All right.
Here's how I spell realize. You ready for this one?
You didn't go look it up, did you, and cheat and get affected?
Never mind.
How did you call him out on that, didn't you, Armor?
Oh, you got me to snort that time. Oh my goodness.
Believe it or not, realize does not have a Z in it.
Now,
Yeah.
wait a minute. When I thought of it in my head, no. When I looked it up, that's what it says.
Well, let me correct myself. Realize the spell checker still flags realize
Really?
with an S, but more and more publications are axing. I mean, with a Z, but more and more publications you're seeing realize spelled REALISE. You're getting lots of newer slow. It's in transition. Let's put it that way.
Something to keep our real eyes on.
Yes. Realize, recognize, real lies. Realize, real lies.
Exactly. So keep our real eyes on realize. See if we realize a change in the future.
When I typed it in, though, I didn't get any squibblies.
No, it's in transition. What you're saying is people are writing it both ways already.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that. See, now I did.
That was a good one, brother.
But that's it. That's all I had on that. I saw that come across my Twitter feed earlier.
Oh,
Next time, I think you should call it to Z or not to Z. That's the question.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's many more examples. Z is definitely in the shifty realm.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Did you guys do you want to play the trailer for the Mandela movie?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. We should definitely play the trailer for the Mandela movie. Let me get it ready here. You didn't look at the trailer, said you sent us? About the Mandela movie?
I think I've seen it. Wasn't it playing on Lone Eagle's channel?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. He may have. I'm so far behind in videos if he did it recently.
I don't really watch Lone Wolf very often anymore. Or Lone Eagle, I mean.
All right, let me share. Trailer time. Get your popcorn.
Yeah, they're actually coming out with a movie about the Mandela Effect. It's a full-length feature film.
Yeah, you'll see. There's real actors in it. It's real. So hold on. Let me share. Let me know when you share.
Coming out. It says when it's coming out. I think it's in the next few months.
Is Matthew McConaughey playing the part of Dan?
All right. No, he's not.
No, he is not.
No? Oh, man.
Yeah, at the theater earlier, Greg. In theaters, December 6th, I believe it says. Let me know when you're shooting me and I'll start it. I can't see our stream.
There's the screen. I've got it in there.
All right, here we go.
Let me try from the first to indicate the point. The point is this, that human consciousness...
Hey, Sam. Stay where we can see you.
...is at the same time as being a form of awareness and sensitivity and understanding. It's also a form of ignorance.
Get stuck in here.
The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have
leaves out more than it takes in.
Remember that children's book when you were growing up about the family of bears?
Berenstein Bear.
Berenstein, S-T-E-I-N.
And because of this, it leaves out things that are terribly important. It leaves out things that would, if we did know them, allay our anxieties and fears and horrors.
Have you heard of the Mandela Effect?
Plenty of people don't remember Sinbad being in a genie movie or Mandela dying in the 80s.
How do you explain to people that do?
I talked to Matt. He was worried that you were becoming fixated on this internet theory.
And if we could extend our awareness to include those things that we leave out, we would have a deep interior peace.
What's going on?
We would all know the one thing that you mustn't know.
What is it you're looking for exactly? I'm looking for what's real, for the truth.
That is the lowdown on life, and the lowdown means the real dirt on things.
Brendan, there's something you really need to understand. Ideas are dangerous things.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Well, it's about damn time.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, but for real, the movie looks kind of like they're leaning toward the CERN theory. I saw the D-Wave computer there near the end, and it looks like
definitely
it's
D-Wave. I didn't see any CERN type stuff, but definitely D-Wave. They're definitely showing
Yeah.
D-Wave.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm not going to go out of my way to go and see it, but I will see it.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, since they took the time to actually make a movie about it, I'm not going to be there opening night, but I'll probably watch it at some point. What does chat seem to think about that? I'm curious to see what kind of comments chat has to say.
I'm curious. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Lone One said yes. Lone Eagle did preview the trailer.
Okay.
Robin Neely said a lot of the characters look like a lot of the people in our community, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so as well. I noticed that.
And Euler Greg maybe said we need mainstream movies to alert the sleepers.
Yep.
Yep, I'm with you on that too, Euler.
Agree with that. That's why I said it's about damn time, because.
And Mad Max is eating popcorn. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
No, because there's a lot of people that already look at us like we're crazy, like we're all tinfoil hat wearing fools, and we the Mandela. We talked about this when we had Sandy on last week, and we talked about the fact that people try to disconnect from the Mandela effect and say, well, it's this way because of this or that, or it's because you just remember it differently than someone else does, or our memories are not as strong as we think they are, and blah 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 la di da la di da.
Well, also, I think the other thing you're trying to articulate there, Hebrew, for Armor and for the audience, if they weren't here when we talked about it, was they're coming out with these so-called ME excuses when they're releasing certain movies and titles. They're coming out with an excuse as to why the isn't there now, or why how it's. They're actually taking the time to write out for the Mandela community a logical explanation as to why it's this way, so that we won't to purposely derail the potential of it being called a Mandela effect ahead of time. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the movie itself probably, without saying it, but I'm going to predict it probably makes them out to be crazy or a conspiracy nut in the end or something to that effect.
Yeah, and or it was like It's not going to do it justice. It's somehow in some way or shape or form going to belittle it or demean it. I agree with you.
You think so?
And
Huh?
like you said, also probably show all the excuses. That's probably why they're coming out. So they can
Yeah,
probably be included to say,
but
see,
from what I understand,
You know what?
the people behind the project were real people who were experienced the Mandela effect. That was its original intent. But by the time post production hits and the movie studio gets their hands on it and the
Oh,
rewrites come
sure.
in, I'm sure all that will happen.
It'd be kind of nice if while they're googling stuff in the movie, if they Google stuff on YouTube of some of the. It's not going to happen, of course, but it'd be kind of nice if they would have come across some of the major channels like Matrix Reloaded or Dance Channel or one of the other. Not saying his is a major channel, but like you know what I'm talking about. Like some of the
If they would have actually included real people, like kind
yeah
of like how they, yeah, I see what you're saying that actually exists. Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be more. I mean, not that they couldn't make such a movie because that would be a more interesting movie to me to watch than that one, obviously. But
I'll tell you
I
what.
yeah. Alone One brings up a good point, and it's the first thing I noticed too. Is the one thing I noticed Alone One says was that the daughter died, and it took a major event for the father to see. And that's exactly what I was thinking when it started. Yeah, of course we got to have a
I had the same
child
I had the same
sacrifice in the
thought.
beginning.
I
Got to
had
be a
the same thought because it seems like so many people. That's how it comes to them is when some type of life event happens that puts you in a position where it makes you notice it more.
I'll tell you one thing. If anything, it'll raise awareness of the Mandela effect, and people won't just have the generic terms into their head that it's just the Berenstain Bears, or it's just the Ford logo, or it's just this or that. You know
I'm
what I?
eager to I'm eager to see if the movie touches on a single Bible change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
if they're willing to go there, yeah,
that
it'll
would.
be interesting to see how they present it. The trailer gives it a real somber tone, though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it definitely makes it dark. And you got the dude or woman, I'm thinking it's a dude because of short hair, laying in a puddle of blood coming out their head with a cell phone. So, and then what's his name? Tell him basically, careful what kind of questions you ask. So, yeah, I think it's going to lead to dark, basically. Like I said, don't make him out to be a conspiracy nut or something. Probably he's going to end up dead. Looked where he shouldn't have looked. Maybe they'll leave it with a
Well,
cliffhanger ending.
I'll tell you what would be more interesting is, and I probably only speak for myself when I say this. I don't know, but I would like for them to make a movie based on Suso's experiences, the experiences that he wrote his book about. I think that would make a more interesting movie, if you ask me. I'm just saying my opinion and my opinion only. You know,
I
crickets.
definitely understand. I was on mute. I was trying to unmute fast enough, but I agree with you. I'm looking at the comments here. Alone One says that one thing I noticed was that the daughter died and it took a major event for the father to see. But then Oiler Greg says, I'm totally anti conspiracy and it was not videos that convinced me. I figured it out and then found found Mandela community. But it's one of those things like when everybody's got their own story, obviously, but it does seem like you hear that tale more often than not that something tragic happened in someone's life just before they started to realize it. It does really seem like you hear that tale over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt Suso's book would make an awesome movie. I got it and read it. I actually got an autographed copy and I'm mentioned in it, which is sort of cool. Even though it's God's armor, but It's the thought that counts. I know who it is.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
Oh yeah.
Len once said it also touches on his friend trying to explain it all away, just like our family and friends. So yeah, I didn't notice
Yeah.
it. Yep.
It does look like it takes at least a half-witted, honest attempt at trying to kind of put it, the different angles of what people go through when they experience it. So at least it is trying to do that, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm eager to see how it plays out. Like I said, if they'll touch the Bible changes and whether or not they make him out to be crazy in the end or leave it hanging that he could have been into something. You know what I mean? So it'll be.
Also, I'd like to sit here and wonder if they're going to touch on any of the other conspiracies surrounding the Mandela affected community, like some of the other stuff that was talked about, like certain deaths and stuff like that, like um, 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 yeah. Cappy.
Well, that's not really a Mandela effect.
No. I mean, just I'm talking about conspiracy type.
Well, why? I would hope not. I hope they keep it pure Mandela. Because if they do that, that's exactly when they're going to try to tie it in with all the other crazy conspiracy stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm eager to see what they do.
Yeah. But I want to bring up a few things before we go off the air, and not saying we're going off the air just now, but we probably are here pretty soon. We are 2 hours and 36 minutes into it. I'd like to do a couple plugs, shameless plugs, if you don't mind.
Your channel.
Well, plug away. Plug
it up, brother. Plug it up.
So I do have, you guys seen my stop motion Batman movie? Some of you have.
I watched it. I thought it was really good.
I watched the whole one. Did you do part 2 yet? I just watched part 1. That's how far behind I am. But I did just see it. I think it was today. So quite creative, I will say. You wrote that all yourself and everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's chapter 1. It's called Night Quest Chapter 1, and it's based off of a story that was done called The Laughing Fish. It's based off of that, but I actually did a whole original story that was based off of it all around it. I wrote a 37-page script, and yeah, I did all the filming, all the voices, everything.
Editing, yeah. You even added some cool special effects, which I noted.
But I wanted to bring up there was a G.I. Joe movie I done a couple years ago. I've got 2 or 3 of them actually, and they're 3 hours long. But what I've done is I've taken the G.I. Joe movie and I've broken it down into 3 parts. It's a 3-part series, and it's going to be an hour long. Each video is going to be broken down to an hour long, and so that's all stop motion animation and all the voices and special effects and stuff done by me as well in that one, and that'll be coming out soon. And of course, we have upcoming this week, of course, is Wednesday Word with Armor Up, and of course, I have Thirsty Thursday. Getting all the plugs out of the way, man. You got to get all those plugs in there.
For sure. And I mentioned earlier that I haven't really been watching Lone Eagle much lately, and really, there's no particular reason. I really do enjoy his channel. I just haven't watched it recently. No, nothing against Lone Eagle. He does great work.
Oh yeah, I love Lone Eagle. He's awesome. Yeah, did you plug Taco Tuesday?
And we got Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday started becoming pretty fun. I know I missed last week, but I think we're doing a pretty good job on Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing that we do now. It's more laid back and more or less like a radio talk show than this one is, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever. we feel like talking about. Kind of, it's kind of more of the same. It's just we're in a different. We're not in a Shifty Sunday vibe. We're just in a more. I don't know how to explain it. Just more of a carefree.
It's the same thing, just different.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to get you to do. We're going to do some different segments, and It's going to be more of the same, just slightly different, like you said.
Hey, thanks, Oiler Greg. I appreciate that, brother. And thanks, Armor, for putting that up there.
Yeah, brother, I got you.
Yeah. But like I said, the G.I. Joe movies, those will be coming soon. And also,
Oh, I just thought of a very important question that I want to know, and I'm sure our chat does also. Are we ever going to have more Mandela Community movies?
I know. I've been wondering about that myself.
I knew you guys was going to bring that up because I was just about to say the same exact thing. Hey, Hebrew.
Well, let us know then. Tell us, oh brother.
Yeah, what's the delay, my man? Are you just not? Is there? Are you having creative writer's block? I mean, what's going on?
Are you Mandela mentally blocked?
Well, it's just I've been working on a lot of other stuff here lately, and
what's up with the workout video you did the other day? I saw something.
Yeah, that's another one of the projects. That's more like a side project I've been working on just as an experiment.
That music you had going on in the background while you were working out, that made it seem so 90s infomercial-esque. It was.
Oh, no way. I got to watch this. I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah.
It's got to be comedy gold.
It is comedy gold, and he's trying to get the camera to balance like on a tarp or something while he's doing his push-ups and his bench presses. Yeah.
How long is it? I think we should just air it now.
Can we play a little clip of it, Hero? Can you play a little clip, please?
Well, I think it's only 26 minutes long. Definitely.
Well, just play a piece of it. Like go into about I don't know the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, at least give us a few minutes of working out with you. I've got. It's got to be good.
Yeah, we got to see this. Go ahead and play this. This is great, guys. You're gonna love it.
Well, didn't I share that?
No, it's unanimous. We need a quick.
Yeah, we need you to press play on that real quick. Go in about the 5-minute mark and play it to about I don't know 10 minutes in. Like about 5 minutes of it would be good.
Red Shirt Blue says they're going to watch your movie also, that stop motion is a lost art. So just want to let you know.
Yes, it is.
While you're getting that clip ready, I'm watching chat for you.
All right. Okay.
That's got to be good. I'm coming in cold, just like the chat. I haven't seen.
Yeah, and did you see the thing he uses for the He-Man picture he uses? He-Man's got the weights, and it says, "You lift? Do you lift? Do you even lift, bro?"
Oh yeah, do you even lift, bro? I did see that. Seen that in one of his videos somewhere.
And it is a lost art. And I tell you what, Hebrew never ceases to amaze me with some of the lines he comes up with when he's doing his shows.
I know, I agree. And you're the same way. You're just like, you crack me up.
There's one he was doing called the Kardashians, and it's a play off of the Kardashians, like the famous, you know what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, the guy, one alien Kardashian, this is from Star Trek, is called the other guy over to his lair or whatever, and said he gets there and he says, "I'm having a problem with my air conditioning unit blowing out water or whatever." And the guy's like, "You called me all the way over here to talk to me about your air conditioning unit?" And he goes, "Well, really, the truth is, I've been missing you. I just wanted to talk to you." And the guy the other guy's like, well, I've been busy. I've got a girlfriend now, and so I'm busy hanging out with my girlfriend. And then he breaks the fourth wall and he looks at the camera and he goes, not that any of you guys watching this video would know anything about that. and I said to myself, dang, he got me.
Busted. Oh, all right, here we go. Go to about the 10-minute mark. Let's do some working out with Hebrew. This is going to be gold. I know this is going to be gold. I haven't seen it. I just know.
What's the what minute mark?
Go in. Start at around 5 minutes once you actually got started.
5 minutes.
About 5 minutes in, 4 minutes in, something like that.
I'm trying.
You know it better than I do, but just pick a good spot.
Now I'm gonna do 3 sets. Ready? All right, pay attention. You can only see my back, so I'm gonna step to the side. And see what's happening is when I'm extending this rope, I'll pull the rope out like that. So when you push down, you push it down.
Isn't that music great?
Classic.
2 sets. So I got one more set to do. And now get to the arm curls. So I'll see you guys when I get to the arm curls. All right, I got 245s on. Let me get it to where you guys still there?
You're here.
Oh, I ain't going nowhere.
That one you were talking about, Saji, where did it go? I think it was right about here where I'm trying to set up the camera, isn't it?
It was just before that part. It was with
the free weights.
Yeah, right here.
Which are over here right now. I do some curls. But today, I'm going to start out with what I call the toe killers. And the toe killer. That's the 50-pound weight right there. Broke my toe. So now if I can put the camera
I know, Robin, that music. That's what makes the whole video. That's hilarious.
Okay. Uh-oh. Too high up. Here we go. We're going to start with the toe killers. Make sure everything's out of the way. I hope you guys can see me.
I agree, Alone 100%.
Hey, but you know what? Kudos to you for getting up there and doing it, man, because I sure as heck didn't.
I hope you got on steel toe shoes. That's all I'm saying.
Very slowly. Sitting back down.
Very slowly. Keep your toes away from the killer.
Also,
my wife says, what are you sitting at on the bag of chips?
We'll move on to the next exercise. But I'm going to go ahead and do...
You're so serious, too.
That I usually do. And I'll be right back.
And Tybo ain't got nothing on this show.
No. Yeah, that's good enough. We get the gist of it, man. Thank you for sharing it.
There's one. Hold on. There's one here.
That is awesome.
I wanted to share.
It's everything I expected and more. Me and my wife want to watch this tomorrow.
Let's see. What was that one? Hold on. I think it's right here. This
called lat pull downs.
No,
And it's one.
Hold on. Hold on, guys. Is it here?
Just a demonstration.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Get it up here. And you can watch me. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, yeah. I could even zoom in a little bit.
No, that ain't it.
Like, let's see. Oh,
That it? No, that ain't it.
Yeah, I don't know that I got to the very end, so I can't say for sure.
main focus should be on arms and shoulder.
Yeah, Davey said next time workout video, please talk like Macho Man. I agree.
I can't tell you what that is.
Watch out for the toe killers.
The tip is below. Let me zoom in a little.
Okay, here it is. This is.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know.
All right. Get ready. This is quite funny. See what I did there.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to lose about 10 more pounds. You'll be able to do that.
I know
I
it.
lift my legs up and I curl them. Just a little bit. So I think kind of like leg squats them.
Okay.
That's
Well,
awesome, brother.
there you go. Like a little.
You look like you're the Russian training to fight Rocky, though, for real.
I don't know about that. Oh boy.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful.
But anyway. Oh, he said I should be talking like the Macho Man.
Yeah. When you do your workout videos, you should definitely do the Macho Man voice. You can do a curl and be like, "Oh yeah."
That's the first time I heard you attempt that, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you get my idea.
Yeah.
I'm not a hero at the Macho Man.
See, I dropped these 50-pound weights on my toe and it killed it, so I call it the toe killer. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Oh man.
That would have to go viral. I'm telling you, do it. It's got to go viral.
I don't know. But well, that's enough embarrassing myself for one night. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe when Macho Man says snap into a slim Jim, he means a gym.
The
GYM. Yeah.
There you go. That's how you could open it up. Want it? Step into my slim gym. Gonna work out. Yeah. You got to do it, brother. You got it.
Good night, Red Shirt Blues.
Bye, Red Shirt. I'm sure he's not done making a fool out of himself yet, but he can catch the replay.
Also, I wanted to say, Robin Neely had a good comment. I'm trying to scroll up to find it again. Hold on. Maybe it wasn't Robin. I lost it. Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, it was a lone one. He said Hebrew is one of those people that has a natural sense of humor and doesn't even realize it. Very, very true.
Oh, yeah, that's when I said I totally agree, Alone One, right after he typed that. Yep. Absolutely. He is definitely the comic relief. And we need it. That's why I love him so much.
And you take it like a man, even though we're sitting here laughing at your video. I have nothing but respect for you, sir. Nothing but respect.
You can't be in this. You can't be in this business and not have tough skin.
That's right. That's right.
It's like.
But yeah, that was a good way of avoiding the Mandela family videos, though. I do give you that. But don't think I forgot I didn't get an answer yet. But
Oh,
that was
okay.
a beautiful sidetrack, though. That was awesome.
So, can we expect to see some, say, between now and
Before I die,
Thanksgiving?
like before I die, maybe.
Oh, before I'm
Because I
kind of
mean,
like,
all summer you told us it would be this fall. Coming this fall, just like all the other stuff that comes out in the fall.
so what are you guys saying? So I'm like that guy in the parking lot that's looking down at his cell phone while you guys are trying to get the space.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I mean, I really do look forward to them. You did a great job on them,
Yeah,
and
they
I'm
cracked
wait.
me up. They're
Yeah.
hilarious.
oh, what was that?
Crickets.
Crickets.
It was crickets.
So, what's the answer? When can we expect to see the first installment?
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. I've got Batman Chapter 2. I'll be working on writing on the script for it. Since I got all the stuff out and all the action figures, I might can get one out as soon as next month.
Oh,
All right.
man. The new
And
season.
you guys can quote me on that.
You just did.
Well, my birthday is in the third week of November. Can we have it by then?
Oh,
I'll
there
tell
you
you.
go. I think that ought to be an episode. Saji's birthday party. There you go.
Oh man, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'll do it. We can have it like in that restaurant scene I had when all the gas comes in and everyone's dying over laughing.
Yeah.
The Joker shows up.
He could get his birthday wish. He always wanted to see the Bat Cave. He could take him over there. Dude, you could have an awesome.
Well, as long as it's not the castle.
Lone One wants to know if you have a special diet since you work out. He did share this with me privately, so I'll share it. He's on a seafood diet. If he sees food, he eats it. So.
Actually, the real truth is, here's the real truth about the special diet. All right, here's what you do. You get up early in the morning, about 7 o'clock in the morning. All right. And then you crack about
I'm out.
You're out of it. And then you crack about 7 raw eggs into a glass. And then you drink those raw eggs. And then you eat a cooked steak. You got to cook the steak. No, you eat one steak cooked. And then you and then you drink about 6 cups of coffee. And then after that, you're pretty full, so then you take a nap. And then you get up about 3 hours later. And then
and that's when you tell the wife you're going out to the garage to go work out, and you do something totally different.
There you go. Robin Neely says coffee and White Castle burgers.
I've never had a White Castle burger.
Really?
Never, ever?
Yeah, there's none around here. Never had one.
Oh, wow. How about the other ones, like Crystal or anything like that?
No, aren't they the ones that invented like the sliders? Though is that what they was famous for? Like the little,
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. It's something about the way that they steam grill the onions on the little thin patty and make it. It's kind of got like this whole. It's all about the steam being in the bun and in the burger and in the onions all together. Yeah, it's a steamy.
I love a good burger, so I'd try them. There's none around anywhere.
And they basically just melt in your mouth. There's not much substance to them, but you get like 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. You don't just order 1 or 2.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Oh yeah, man! I'll tell you what. We used to go to White Castle a long time ago. They used to have them in my area, and they don't anymore. But we used to go there and get like it was nothing to get like 10 of those little sliders that you call them, and just eat about 10 of those, and a little big old bag of fries, and
And
oh
if you do go, don't get cheese on them. At least not the first time you try them. I'm
no.
not saying their cheese isn't that good anyway, and they taste better without the cheese.
See, I'm a big cheese person. I love cheese. So. But I would, if I ever find one, I will take your advice and try it without
Yeah,
cheese.
at least the first one, try it without cheese, and then they do have a cheddar jalapeno cheddar one. If you since you like peppers, I would go if you do just go with the cheese to try it with cheese. Go with the jalapeno cheddar cheese.
Oh yeah, anytime there's a hot pepper type cheese, it's always my choice. And then one says when he used to go to the bars, on the way home, he would stop off at Crystal for a bag of burgers. That sounds like a skip from Saturday Night Live. Bag of burgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Last.
yeah, they sell them by the sack.
Sounds like my kind of place. Wish we had one around here.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy them in the grocery store now in the frozen department and make them at home.
Oh, it ain't the
Well,
same.
they sell them frozen at Kroger's, but they don't taste as fresh, but close.
Nah.
No, they're not quite as the same, but it's about the next best thing you can get if you ain't got one.
Yeah. I will keep my eyes open.
Oh, I better get the thing ready. Or have you got it where you got it ready?
I don't have it ready now.
I don't have it ready.
I can I can get the thing ready real quick.
I thought you already had it ready.
No, I
Got it?
I don't. No, I'm being very specific, aren't I?
Well, you had it earlier, so I figured you just left it open.
No, I closed all my windows after I finished importing that.
Importing important stuff.
Right. Well, not important, but yeah, important to me, I guess. I don't know. Um, but you guys go ahead and finish your final thoughts, and we'll close this out. I just want to say before you guys do that, though, that it's been fun hanging out with everybody in chat, and been fun hanging out with you two Bozo the Clowns as well.
It's always fun hanging out on Shifty Sunday. I love it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
And my final thoughts are the same as always. Take some time, get alone, talk to the Father, let him talk to you. Don't take an agenda, just take yourself. It's an amazing thing. Saji, final thoughts, my friend.
Pretty much ditto. You know, stay awake. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Apply discernment and try to make the best of every day that you have, because it might be the last one.
Oh, I went to the wrong thing.
Yeah, you got it right. You got that right. We ain't promised tomorrow, so make the most of today. Tell the ones you love them, and enjoy it. Because it is the day the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. That's a little thing I try to remind myself of every morning. But that ain't my 3 thing. I'm saving that for next week. Hey, Flitter Spark in the house. While he's getting that ready, I might as well do a final shout out. Flitter Spark Flower Dream in the house.
Sorry, hold on.
Pause.
Sorry.
Dun, dun. How can we end the show if not with a Hebrew moment? Flitter Spark Flower Dream in the house. Alone One in the house. Dave East. Oiler Greg sporting a wrench. Robin Keneally sporting a wrench. Screw Up. Red Shirt Blues. Had to leave us a bit ago. Glad he joined us. Mad Max, of course, was here. Scrolling. Of course, Eddie Von Keem was the first one here with his wrench. Stonebender was here with us earlier. Zombie Cat Cub, I'm sure, is still lurking. My favorite zombie lurker. If you ain't got a zombie lurking, you ain't got nothing. That's all I'm saying. Your channel ain't nothing. Warlord Bliskin, of course, was here earlier. And I think I got everybody. If not, hey, I love you anyway. And as my friend Tina would say, Jesus loves you more. And Party Puppy. They would both say that. And it was so good seeing the pup last night. Man, I've been worried about the pup. I missed him. Glad to see he was back.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the pupster.
Cool.
Lem one says, remember to be of service to others. It makes the soul happy and sets your spirit free. I promise. Amen, my brother. It sure does. When you do what Jesus told you to do it, yeah. Definitely makes the soul happy and sets your spirit free. Yeah, Pup is back. He was in the chat last night, Robin, right before we closed, I guess. So
awesome.
Pup is back.
Kind of wish I hadn't missed that. Like I said, I fell asleep after about half an hour in. I was tired, man.
Well, it ain't no wonder listening to that fella.
What? No.
Make me fall asleep too.
Well, everybody, that does it for another Shifty Sunday. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by, and we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody. God bless and love you all. Till next time. So long, everybody. And here we go. Where's that button at? Can't find the button because there it is.
S is for the S's that have disappeared. H is for house, it's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y is for your memories, hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for a means. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
I just love that. Lorraine's awesome.
All right, let me hit that